Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Upgrade your HVAC system now, and you could qualify for Carrier Cool Cash rebates up to $2,600 and 0% financing for up to 72 months. Rebates available for a limited time. For a free estimate, aircomfortservice.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Rain.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Annie Frey Show. Happy to be with you. Beautiful day outside, and it's made even brighter in studio by the return of Ryan Wiggins.
Oh, yeah. Thank you very much for calling me Sunshine.
I didn't call you Sunshine.
You kind of did.
I called you Bright, which is almost worse.
Well, I guess you never extinguish a candle without opening a door somewhere else.
Okay, Elton John.
Say.
Yeah. I just asked Ryan, I go, you pay much attention to the news while you were on your vacation? And the answer was no.
No, I did not.
Good for you.
Yeah, it was kind of nice.
Now you live like the rest of folks. You can turn it on and turn it off whenever you want.
I guess so. I like the news, but when you're go, we were doing theme parks and stuff. There was no time.
The real question I have for you, and this story just is everything to me. How much have you paid attention to the Southern Poverty Law Center story?
It's one of the only stories that I've heard a little bit about.
Yeah. Well, let's hear a lot about it because I am very interested to see what ends up happening with this revelation and indictment of the Southern Poverty Law Center. You hear them a lot. They come out and they say things like, oh, the such and such organization has been deemed a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. And everyone goes, oh, that's a shame. You know, everyone just is like, the Southern Poverty Law Center, I could be with them.
It gets reported like it's real news.
Yeah, or like
they're a credible source.
It's an anti-endorsement or an indictment of another group that you should just take with gospel clarity because the Southern Poverty Law Center said so. Listen to this Fox News report.
SPLC defrauded donors by using their money to pay leaders and members of the extremist groups that the organization claimed they were trying to bring down. The SPLC is accused of secretly funneling more than $3 million between 2014 and 2023 to field sources, including $1 million for an informant with the neo-Nazi organization National Alliance, $270,000 to a member of the group that planned the Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia in 2017, and $300,000 to a member of an Aryan Nations affiliate. The Justice Department is charging SPLC with 6 counts of wire fraud.
Real quick here, as I interrupt Mrs. Reporter Lady from Fox News, did you hear what she just said? She just said that the Southern Poverty Law Center from 2014 to 2023 were making donations to organizations like Aryan groups and the KKK. And that they manufactured the Unite the Right rally. You remember that? The tiki torches? This is where we get the President Trump good people on both sides. I guess we know where the bad people were. They were bought, paid for, and showed up because of the Southern Poverty Law Center. These people are ridiculous. Here's more.
4 counts of bank fraud and 1 count of conspiracy to commit money laundering.
The SPLC was not dismantling these groups. It was instead manufacturing the extremism it purports to oppose by paying sources to stoke racial hatred.
For its part, the SPLC says they use confidential informants to gather intelligence because of the threats they have received over the years. The organization's interim CEO says they shared what they learned with local and federal law enforcement like the FBI. The SPLC says taking on violent hate and extremist groups is among the most dangerous work there is, and we believe it is also among the most important work we do. The actions by the DOJ will not shake our resolve to fight for justice and ensure the promise of the civil rights movement becomes a reality for all. The SPLC says they no longer work with paid informants.
Oh, they don't?
They stopped.
Yeah. Why? It was going so incredibly well. This story is maddening, people, because you got to really dig deep to understand. And I'm going to tell you what right now, go look at all your other networks. Go look at all the other news channels. Watch Primetime tonight. Maybe CBS will pick it up. CBS has kind of moved to the center a little bit. But pay attention to what they're saying here right now. This Fox News report by Nora Moriarty on foxnews.com. The federal indictment of the Southern Poverty Law Center was not politically motivated during an appearance on the Ingram Angle Attorney General acting, Todd Blanche said last night. This Alabama-based civil rights group, federally indicted on fraud charges, is accused of funneling millions of dollars to pay informants to infiltrate extremist groups like the Ku Klux Klan. That indictment is free for everybody to read, and if the takeaway is that it's political, I mean, I think the opposite is true. That's what he went on to say. Blanche described the SPLC's alleged conduct as extraordinarily egregious, saying the group paid $3 million to people associated with the United Klans of America and other extremist organizations from 2014 to 2023. The SPLC, which uses litigation to fight white supremacy and dismantle extremist groups, performed counter to its mission. So you've got people at the Southern Poverty Law Center and everybody that comes in the wake of the Southern Poverty, you like I said, you kind of cite them as the gospel for anti-racism. This bigoted country that we've been living in. You guys remember the 90s? Remember when we only cared about certain things and we just were like, pfft. Remember when people could say and kind of flex on the First Amendment in the 90s? And you would just judge people by the ignorance of their words, not cancel them for thinking something that was contrary to what you believed, or contrary to the approved message of some sort of governmental power structure that would only be able to accommodate their ultimate goals of essentially socialism injected into the government if enough people felt too scared to speak up, to disagree, to have a different opinion. I would say from the sunrise of the Obama administration all the way until Donald Trump, as I always refer to him, the orange Kool-Aid man who ran through the brick wall and left a Donald Trump-sized shape in the wall and knocked everything to pieces. We have been living in this kind of dystopian culture where there was only one approved message, and the penalty for disagreeing with whatever you were told that you now supported, not tolerated. We grew up in a world in the 80s, 90s, and the early 2000s where people were like, you should tolerate people who are not like you. I understand that message. I appreciate that message. You can't force me to accept things that go contrary to my most moral, foundational beliefs. I can tolerate people. I can choose to be kind to people, yet still disagree with them. But that wasn't enough. And the consequence of not accepting it, and then, of course, putting the sign in your yard that says no, hate has no home here, which was the sign's only in your front yard, so that your neighbor, it's like, well, obviously hate lives over there next door because they didn't put a sign in their yard. It wasn't enough to tolerate. We had to be accepting of everything. And it wasn't enough to be accepting. You had to prove it. All of the time. I always go back to the, Office Space, Jennifer Aniston, 15 pieces of flair minimum. Did she work at TGI Fridays or was it just like TGI Fridays?
I think it was a fake restaurant.
It was like Mondays or something like that.
In the movie.
You have to prove it. You have to prove to everybody that you have the flair, that you have the outward, really shaming of anybody who doesn't have their flair on. We've lived like that for well over a decade. And the Southern Poverty Law Center funding a Unite the Right rally, infiltrating and working with the KKK to try to use it as a way to inflame really normies out there by saying, gosh, is this really what the Republican Party is like? I just really don't want to be associated with that. It's an incredibly dangerous and also illegal thing for them to do if they were taking donations as a nonprofit and turning them around and donating them to groups like this. They're in big trouble. Yeah,
well, I mean, just from reading it this morning, the indictment itself is that they were defrauding their donors. Because the donors, people donating to the Southern Poverty Law Center, didn't know that this was happening, didn't know that they were paying far-right extremist groups, and are pretty upset about it. I would be, too, if I found out I was donating to a NRA or
Yeah,
something
where's
on the right.
George Clooney and Amal Clooney on the 6 figures of donations that they've made to the Southern Poverty Law Center, which are like donations. It's an investment in their own career because their investment turns into them making statements about why they're supporting the Southern Poverty Law Center and why that makes them a certain kind of person. It's a piece of flair.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, I'm just catching up on this. I heard a little bit about it this morning as I've been catching up on news in general. But it looks like, and tell me if I'm wrong here.
You're
from
wrong
what you've
here.
read. No,
Oh.
not yet. I haven't said the thing yet.
Well, that's why you could be wrong. It depends on what you're going to
Well,
say.
you could also say that I could be right. You just chose the negative.
I wouldn't do that.
It looks like they were paying informants to give them as much dirt, and it really didn't matter what they were finding. They just wanted the most extreme things possible, and here, we'll pay you for it. And then we'll publicize it and then condemn it.
Well, hold on a second. Oh, I have 2 cut threes. Never mind. Hold on a second. I was going to play a clip here. More from Todd Blanche yesterday. He's, of course, the acting attorney general on this particular issue. I do think that people need to be listening in to how this story is going to unfold, because if you realize that a lot of what you have tried to be on the right side of history, you know that phrase, we've heard that a bit. You're trying to be on the right side of history on, things like, I'm really not a hateful person. I don't support hate, but it sure looks like hate is being redefined in a bunch of different ways just for political purpose and political motivation.
General, how did they get away with this for so long?
I mean, it's a great question. I said today during the press conference that we know that this investigation was opened during the Biden administration and then mysteriously closed. I really don't have any information about why it was closed. And then we started again last year, the FBI did, working with the U.S. attorney in Alabama. And it's extraordinarily egregious. You just talked about it. But imagine a donor to the SPLC if they were told, by the way, we're going to give the money you're giving us to the Ku Klux Klan. Okay? Like, in some cases, over $1 million. I mean, it's incredible.
Now, they say they're no longer using these informants in this way and that it was necessary because they had all sorts of threats against the organization, firebombing threats and other acts of purported violence. And that's why they had to use these informants. And to that, you say?
Well, to that I say, for one, the indictment charges all the way through 2023. So I'm here to speak about what they're doing right now, but that indictment charges a long period of time through 2023. And second, and more importantly, there's no allegation or information in the indictment that suggests they shared that information with law enforcement. They have communicated.
They said they did.
Well, they have communicated when they so chose with law enforcement over the years. There's no information that we have that suggests that the money that they were paying to these informants and these members of these organizations, they then turned around and shared what they learned with law enforcement. To the contrary, or else we would have known from their own words that they had given this money to these guys, and we didn't know it.
So there you have Todd Blanche on with Laura Ingraham last night. We'll find out more about this. We're going to continue to talk about it because I think it's a wild, wild story. And one of those things where we have suspected that maybe there's some fabrication. Because how long have we been sitting here going, I just don't... The people burning buildings down and marching through the streets and shutting down places because how racist this country is. And you're sitting here thinking, that's not the world I'm living in. Like, I don't see that in my own reality. What are these people experiencing that I'm not? And it turns out maybe it wasn't real. Maybe it wasn't entirely grassroots authentic. Congressman Mike Bost is going to be with us in a couple of minutes here. He's the Illinois 12th District Representative and also chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. We're going to ask him about President Trump's continued endeavor with Iran. Of course, the ceasefire being extended for a few days, and we'll wait and see what happens next. We will ask the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee how he feels about the conflict in Iran. And I've got a poll question that I'm going to ask him when we come back. Would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? Yes or no? YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. You go vote there. And Ryan is back on the Annie Frey Show text line. So text us at 314-241-9797 and let us know. Boots on the ground in Iran to get the job done thoroughly and faster. Would you support that? We'll be right back with Congressman Mike Bost. My friend Todd Sivia. Todd put together an estate plan, a great trust for my husband and for me. And I encourage you to give him the opportunity to do the same for you. An estate plan is a written out, planned solution for a very difficult transition in your life, but an important one. And everybody's estate plan will, your testament is going to be different because your circumstances are different than mine or different than the person in the car sitting next to you right now. So when you talk to Todd Sivia, he's going to take that to account immediately because he knows the questions to ask you to understand how he can create the perfect trust for you and for your spouse and for your family and to protect your estate, to ensure that all the I's are dotted, all the T's are crossed. And when you listen to some of the questions he asks you, you're going to think to yourself, gosh, yes, that's exactly right. I should totally know that. You need someone like Todd Sivia, the expert, to make sure you navigate this situation with ease. If you're one of the first 10 callers right now to call Todd Sivia's office at Sivia Law, you're going to get your strategy session, a $300 value. That fee is going to be waived, but you got to call right now, and you got to mention my name, Annie. 833-995-WILL. That's 833-995-WILL. Online at CiviaLaw.com.
Rhino Shield is engineered to outlast paint by a lot, backed with our 25-year transferable warranty. Paint a house, shield a home. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, steel, aluminum, cedar, and more. We are the only coating company selected by Disney, This Old House, and 3 times on HGTV's Curb Appeal, where all 3 episodes concentrate on unpainted brick. If you maintain or own a business with a tired-looking building, you owe it to yourself to look at Rhino Shield and our beautifully durable color schemes. Evaluations are free. We're making buildings pop and be noticed again, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks, exceeding expectations every day with our products, people, and performance. Now is the time to call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or go to 877-25rhino.com and see how honest and transparent we really are. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
Things going on today in Tehran. I think they are scrambling. And anybody who says this fracture between the religious leadership and the military and their civilian political leadership is a bad thing doesn't understand how to break a tyrannical regime. Of course, we want them arguing with each other. And obviously, I think the military will come out on top. As you said, they do have the guns. But in the end, they don't have much in the way of weapons left. And anytime they poke any of those weapons out of their holes, we destroy them. So they've got a very short window before they run out of money. They run out of the ability to pump oil. They already can't sell it. And there's not any money coming in to run the regime. Anybody who thinks they're ahead in this game is not paying attention.
Jim Hansen, a former United States Army Special Forces operator, speaking there about the situation currently there in Iran. We are excited to bring our next guest on, Congressman Mike Bost, to talk about his thoughts on the conflict. Congressman, thank you so much for being with us here today. You are the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee. I know that you're following this very closely, as the rest of us are. How do you feel about where we are with Iran right now?
I feel very good, and the reason I feel very good is because we finally have a president who's willing to go. Now, I believe that the only concern I have right now is Iran's doing what Iran has done every time we've tried to deal with them. And the one thing is they will look for a ceasefire, but unfortunately during the ceasefire they try to rearm. Now, I don't know how they're going to rearm because I don't think their organization is together anymore. I think their main problem, if they can't get anybody to negotiate, is because they don't know who's in charge. Because they've been hit they're devastated down to the third level of leadership. It was my hope that there would actually be an uprising of the people to try to take Iran back. But you got to remember, Annie, how long I've been dealing with this.
Yeah.
I actually joined the Marine Corps 3 days after the Iran hostages were taken because the Iran hostages were taken. So, and my idea as a young 18-year-old was go, and we were probably going to go over and we were going to get our hostages back, and we were going to overthrow the Ayatollah and his henchmen. And as it is, it took 47 years, but we pretty well got that done. And it's a shame it did that, because if you think about the amount of people that this terrorist government has now funded to either kill people that are United States citizens or cause other terror around the world, they've either been the person that provided the funding or they've been the actual people in the fight. So I think that the president made a very, very good move by closing down the strait. I think that we're getting rhetoric out of Iran, and we really don't know who's in charge. The question is, and I'm a little concerned because he has extended the ceasefire, and when extending the ceasefire, all of a sudden 3 ships were attacked in the strait, which is exactly what I just said about how terrible this group of people is.
Yeah.
And what they're dealing with is, okay, if this was a persons that were arguing to put a communist government in place instead of a free elected government, there was a dictator. Their ideas and beliefs can be broken in battle. When it is a religious oath that they've taken because of their faith, because what you've got to realize, I was over in Gaza not too long ago, and that is the problem is that the Muslim Brotherhood has, as a group, and Iran has been the biggest head of that, is their statement is death to all Jews, a total destruction of Israel, and death to the United States. That isn't because there's a group of political leaders saying it. It's a group of people who have taken an oath through their faith. That's a different battle that we're having. And the only way that we can have this straightened out is to totally break that regime.
Congressman Mike Bost speaking with us right now, Illinois' 12th District Representative, the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee as well. As Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg was on with us earlier this week, and he is emphatic that this is not a war that we're going to be able to negotiate peace out of. He says we need to go in and we need to end it. And he said if that means we send people, boots on the ground in there to get to the bottom of it, that this is a way to do it, to complete the goal, to complete the mission. And, I could see how if you do that, it could potentially get it done quicker. Is there an instance where you see boots on the ground being the natural next step here in order to complete the mission?
First off, let me tell you how hard that is for me. For those people who would be on the social media that would badmouth me, and they would say, oh, you're just a warmonger or you want to put boots on the ground, understand that some of those boots on the ground may be my grandson. And so my thought is be wise. I believe maybe their oil island, we could put our troops there. We could work with a coalition, possibly using Israel troops that would want to go in, but do it wisely. We are dealing now in a war type issue that drones are becoming the norm. And so we have to make sure that we're prepared if we're going to go in, that we know we're going to strike clean, quick, and get it over with, and not draw anything out. And I don't think this is going to be a long, drawn-out affair. I wish I don't have the inside information that the president does and the people that are on the committees of jurisdiction do. And I'm really glad that the members that are not on that committee don't have that information, because there are members of Congress that shouldn't have that, and that's why it's called a need to know.
Yeah.
But based on the people that are there, I hope their wisdom is to get it over with quickly, and if it requires boots on the ground, that they can all, without giving away classified information, can explain to the American people why it's necessary to do that.
Congressman, I can't imagine any military strategy that is publicly discussed that rules out a bunch of things. It doesn't seem to me as though that is the intellectual way to go out in public and say, we're not going to do anything. Because if you're speaking that to the American people, you're also speaking that to the enemy. And I think that President Trump has definitely led his at least military acumen publicly to suggest that he would maybe do anything.
If you would have seen the interview the other day, and I thought it was funny because he had his commanding general, any rate, was sitting beside him, and that was after we went in and pulled the pilots out. And he said it was a great mission, and he looked at Kane and said, how many people did we actually have on that mission? Kane quietly looked at him and said, I don't think we need to tell him that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather not say, I believe, is what is.
I don't think we should do that.
Exactly. Congressman Bost, while we have you here, I'm curious about the DHS funding that hasn't happened yet, but I'm more curious about your thoughts. We're talking about the Department of Homeland Security. We have attacked Iran. We have decimated their military capabilities. They still have a little bit left, and they look willing to use it, probably, I guess, until they're all out. But we know the border security in this country under Joe Biden was atrocious. And I know a lot of people are worried about sleeper cells here in the United States.
That's correct.
And Congress can't get the Department of Homeland Security funded.
Right. And that is the shame of the people that are holding it up. And when I say that, when you to put your political party and politics above the security of the people of this nation, that is the largest dereliction of duty. We have voted and revoted as the House Republicans. The Democrats in the Senate were able to hold up. Now, the question is, do you want to break the filibuster rule? Do you want to do all that? The Senate has to argue that out, but it has to be done, and it has to be done right away. Now, we're looking at every strategy possible from the House. We voted, I think, a total of 5 times now to fund them from the House to send a clear message. And our colleagues on the other side of the aisle choose to continue to vote no. And then on the other side of the rotunda, the Democrats continue to vote no. This is ridiculous because we need, as you described, we need a fully funded ICE. We need fully funded of our Homeland Security. We have, there's been some answers to the concerns that people were having. They agreed with a lot of their concerns. Look, body cameras, we already got them. The change of the administration at the top, they got that. Kristi Noem's out. Mark Wayne is in. The way it's being handled is there's been some corrections that were put in place. But every time you turn around, they're changing the goalpost because their only answer is to defund ICE. We're not going to defund ICE under any circumstances. Unfortunately, here's the big problem. Mark Wayne is now on his last 2 weeks of being able to pay our frontline workers. And ICE is funded, but our frontline workers will be out, and TSA will be out like they were before. But we took money. Basically, what the president did, he took money that was set aside for Homeland Security in the big beautiful bill and started using it for payroll because of the games that they played. And we're going to run out here shortly.
Well. I hope there's a compromise that's been able to reach soon, but it really doesn't.
I would hope that there be a compromise too, but you can't compromise with a person who keeps moving the goalpost.
Right. Yeah, it's as if the obstruction and the chaos.
They're winning with their base.
Yes,
they believe they're winning with their base.
It's not about the American people; it's about the politics.
It is. It's about the politics, and all of the people who voted for Donald Trump to secure that border, to get these problems straightened out. We are reducing crime. We are actually, the economy is booming. There's a report that came out yesterday that I hope you get and you get a copy of how well we're doing in spite of what they're doing.
Yeah.
And if we get through this war and get this straightened out and get the stock markets are climbing today.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to see this place, the economy light up. You're going to see fuel prices come down. But why in the world would a person who has taken an oath to support this nation, not actually do their job, which is securing the nation and keeping it safe for the citizens of this nation. I don't get it.
Last question here before we let you go. Within the last 20 minutes, there's been news that Congressman David Scott, a Democrat in Georgia, has passed away at the age of 80. I was curious if you knew Congressman Scott at all.
I actually did. So he was David was the chairman of the Ag Committee when they were in the majority. So he's ranking member. He gave that up because of health just recently, and that's now Congresswoman Craig that's there now. He was truly a guy who wanted to help those farmers, and he served his district well. He wasn't a radical Democrat. He was a Democrat, but he was one that you could work with. He came from a district that loved him tremendously, and he dealt straight up with you in the Ag Committee, and that was my involvement with him, was always in the Ag Committee.
Well, those it seems like were the good old days where you could disagree and do it in a gentlemanly or gentlewomanly way. So the passing of Congressman David Scott from Georgia. Thank you for being with us today, Congressman. We look forward to hearing news from you on the DHS funding. You let us know if something happens.
Okay, I sure will.
Take care.
Look forward to talking to you again. Thanks.
All right, bye-bye. United States Congressman for Illinois' 12th District, also the chair of the House Veterans Affairs Committee, Congressman Bost, speaking with us there. We'll take a quick break. That YouTube poll, I asked him that question. What do you think? Would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? Yes or no? Talking about putting American soldiers on the ground in Iran in any capacity to finish the job, and to finish the job potentially quicker than, I don't know how long we're going to continue ceasefires. Another 3 days, another 5 days, maybe indefinitely. Now it's a little bit shorter. Is Iran ever going to negotiate in good faith? That's the real question we have to answer, I suppose. Go vote in the YouTube poll and text us your thoughts at 314-241-9797. We'll feature some of those when we return. So there's rain coming in the forecast. I think that's the last I heard. And if your basement is going to experience some of that moisture inside the basement foundation, you know you're going to have that problem solved once and for all. Every time it happens, it's just making the problem worse. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com is a website you can go learn about Matt Hayes and this incredible St. Louis family-owned business that can come solve your basement water problem once and for all. I think it matters to hire good people who are happy to bring you the best service in town, and Matt Hayes is 100% that. You can call him at 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900, and give him the opportunity to look at what you're dealing with. He can use his eyes and his extensive knowledge and experience to look at your situation, tell you what he can do for you, and you can have somebody trustworthy who's going to put a lifetime warranty on that basement waterproofing, come take care of the job so you don't have to stress when the forecast isn't in your favor. 314-271-9900, HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
A new game day favorite is coming to Busch Stadium on Saturday, April 25th, when the Cardinals host the Seattle Mariners. That day, fans take home a Victory Blue Cardinals crewneck sweatshirt presented by Purina, a light and easy style that's perfect for spring and designed to fit right into your everyday wardrobe. Available in medium and extra large while supplies last. A limited look you'll want to wear again and again. Tickets and info at cardinals.com/promotions.
This is Jose Fermin. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com.
The weekend starts here. Grab your crew and kick it off at Friday Night Live at Busch Stadium. Every Friday night home game, Budweiser Terrace turns into the hottest happy hour in the Lou with $5 beers, $5 hot dogs, $7 margaritas, live music, and more all game long. Meet up with friends, soak in the energy, and keep the night going with baseball under the lights. Good vibes, great deals, your new Friday tradition. Get tickets now at cardinals.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today, I don't know if we talked about it a whole lot, is would you support boots on the ground if in Iran, if it ended the conflict quicker? It's a yes or no. Let us know what you think about today's poll. It is 12:37. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
Midwest made. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis conservative.
Ryan, you should go back and listen to our conversation yesterday with Eric Burleson.
Why? Did it involve me? Did you bring me into that?
I am shocked that I didn't anticipate you'd think it was about you. They should have seen that coming. No, it wasn't about you.
Okay.
You pay attention to those dead scientists?
Well, yes. By
That seems-
necessity. It's
that's-
such a weird story.
Why? Because you're a scientist? You worried?
Well, I mean, I
Is it
dabble.
because of the things you know?
You know, when you know as much as I do and explain so much on the radio publicly, people know you know a lot.
If somebody wanted to eliminate you because of your extensive knowledge on something, what would that knowledge be on? What kind of threat do you pose?
Well, it's probably the history and current makeup of the candy industry. Although I could
Big
say
candy coming after you?
it could be, because I will not give them a whole lot of grace.
In
if
my
they make
mind,
something that's
it's an
terrible.
army of sour gummy worms coming after you.
No. It's probably Big Snickers, because you
Big
remember
Snick?
you remember a couple of months ago I was really down.
Big Snick
on the butterscotch Snickers. It was terrible.
You started that sentence with and I did not.
You do know that. It's buried deep within your psyche. I hated that butterscotch Snickers so bad that I almost wrote the company.
What?
Because they ruined. Okay, so butterscotch itself.
Do you see how I asked him a ridiculously stupid question and now he's giving us the history of butterscotch Snickers? I think you are Big Snick.
Butterscotch itself
That's
is
like
an
your mob name.
underutilized flavor.
If I'm getting
it
a
should
sundae,
be used more.
if I'm getting an ice cream sundae, I'm getting butterscotch.
Exactly. Butterscotch is
Better than hot
fantastic.
fudge and caramel.
It's terrific on ice cream, and it should be utilized elsewhere in other forms of candy.
Like Snickers?
Snickers took a big swing and missed, and now the rest of the industry saw that.
Was it bad
And they go,
butterscotch?
oh, I'm not going to do butterscotch now. Snickers missed on it. And so now we're all without.
I've never had a conversation about butterscotch Snickers with anyone, let alone you.
Oh, yeah, we have. Yeah, I'll have to find it.
Well, I blacked out.
Yeah, you weren't interested the first time either.
Dead scientists, 11 of them now, some of them missing, some of them dead, some of them committing mysterious suicides. The ones that are missing left all of their belongings, phones, phone wallet keys behind. And Congressman Burleson has been briefed on some of these things to an extensive. He said yesterday in our interview he got the briefing that everybody in Congress wants.
Oh.
Yeah.
And he told you?
He didn't tell us what the briefing was, but I did tell him that he could. It's just us girls talking here, Congressman. It is a freaky story though, because the dead scientists, the missing scientists, he talked about how they are scientists that are adjacent to the nuclear program, to anti-gravity research, something with plasma. I'm going to be honest, some of the stuff he was saying, I'm like, I do not watch enough sci-fi to know how cool what the thing you're implying is. Super cool. Don't know what it is.
I don't know what plasma is. I hear that word a lot.
You can donate
in
it.
science.
Yeah.
I know you can donate it.
Yeah.
I know that it helps make TVs.
Both, but not anymore. I don't think. I have a plasma TV downstairs. You still have a plasma TV?
I don't have a plasma TV. I never had one.
It's the fourth state of matter.
The fourth state of matter, obviously.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Liquid, solid, gas.
So he's talking to us about how all of this research that was being done by these scientists was kind of, for a handful of these people, under a general who went missing. And the general, he said yesterday, and if you haven't listened to this interview, go to the Odyssey app, AUDACY, find the Annie Frey Show, and you'll see the Eric Burleson interview there. I also tweeted it out on X, which is, I guess I posted it on X at Annie Frey Show, and it's also on our YouTube channel. You can watch it because he was on Zoom with us when we did it. But he said that this general was like the number one source that they would subpoena or ask for comments on when they were talking about UAP stuff. He was like the go-to guy for knowledge on that, and he went missing.
Dude.
And then he said that a few months ago, this stuff blows my mind. I'm saying this out loud going, gosh, I hope that I get this right because this seems absolutely ridiculous. I asked him, one of the questions I asked him was, he talked about how there are verifiable instances where unidentified aerial phenomena have showed up. It's not just a theory. They have evidence that these things have existed. They don't have evidence of what they are. And he said, I have never seen any evidence of alien life forms. But there are 100%, undoubtedly, things flying around with technology that we don't know about or haven't seen, and we don't know where it's coming from. He said it could be from China. It could be from our own industrial complex.
Oh.
We don't know. I know, right? You're going to go listen to this interview. But he said, this is what's crazy. This is what I couldn't believe when he said it to me. He said that all of the evidence that they have, that these things exist, I asked him, is there a consistency as where these things show up? He said nuclear sites, nuclear submarines.
Wait.
That these these UAPs, they show up. I said, is there a consistency in where these things appear? And he said they tend to show up around our nuclear sites and nuclear submarines. And we have nuclear submarines that are circling the globe all the time, by land, by air, by sea. We got you. That's the nuclear triad. He said that these things have shown up around our nuclear sites and our nuclear submarines. And then he said that they, a few months ago, basically laid a trap. They created a situation where these things would likely show up.
You're blowing my mind right. This is
crazy. And they showed up!
Who's creating the trap? The military?
Don't know. I guess, yes. Maybe Burley.
He said he couldn't divulge that.
He said, what? So he's talking about all this stuff. This was all happening yesterday on our show. You got to go check out this interview. Like I said, wherever you get the Annie Frey Show podcast, you can listen to it. It's our Eric Burleson interview from yesterday. You can also watch it on our YouTube channel. And tweet it out. Go watch it on my Annie Frey Show X account and share it because it's crazy.
Have we tried shooting at it?
It's like the old Independence Day.
Yeah, I mean, just
which character in Independence Day are you?
Jeff Goldblum, probably.
No, you're not. You're not Jeff Goldblum.
Okay, fine. I'm the alien. I want to be Jeff Goldblum. If you're not gonna let me, I'm gonna be an alien.
Peace.
Yep, not that one though. One of the lower ones.
No butterscotch Snickers.
These are my demands.
America. Earth is like, okay. We have a letter here of some guy who agrees with you. We have to get rid of the butterscotch Snickers. It's a demand.
No, the problem isn't that you have to get rid of them. They got rid of themselves. They were terrible. The problem is it ruined every other candy using butterscotch.
How many butterscotch Snickers did you eat to make sure they were bad?
3.
3-ish. 3. How bad can they be if you go back for time 2 and time 3?
I ate one that was like a small one, probably a Halloween one. And then I ate a full size and went, wait a minute, was I have a cold or something? Was it bad? So I had to go back again. Back to the trough. And I determined that there was no need for a 4th time, Annie. It was that bad.
I think you secretly like them.
I do not.
I think you're trying to head off everyone else so that you can have all the butterscotch Snickers.
As much as I'm interested in butterscotch as a flavor,
it's not
the news that you just shared is so much bigger.
I know.
That I want to ask 1,000 questions.
I know. You got to go watch the interview front to back because there is not a point of it where you're like, okay, he's kind of said everything here. We've got a lot of this stuff up on YouTube Shorts, on the Annie Frey Show Facebook Shorts. Like, if you are on a social media platform, wherever you are, we're probably there. I'm not on TikTok. I'm trying to get China out of that first, but come follow us, and we've got a lot of that content up. And if you like it, share it. It helps the show.
Which is the scariest? That it's some other country that's able to do this? That it's our own country and our own military doesn't know about it? Or that it's aliens?
I don't think that our own military doesn't know about it. I think that there are some serious compartmentalization going in our military. And of course, there are people who know about it. And I think it's 100% people who would be interested in our nuclear capacity. That's Russia-China stuff, 100%. He talked about how it was known. What did China do that he said? I forgot the details of the story.
Oh, it was the Operation Fox Hunt where they called it repatriating their Chinese scientists.
Well, it wasn't just about Chinese scientists, though, but how they infiltrate our country, learn our things, and then steal our people and their own people back. Eric Burleson, man, he's in the forefront of it, and he was very gracious to give us his time. A must-listen-to interview. Odyssey app, AUDACY. Find the Annie Frey, Frey show, and listen to that interview. Or check it out on YouTube. A Wiggins America when we come back. Don't go away.
97.1 FM Talk is proud to support the Guns N' Hoses First Responders Soccer Cup, May 30th at Worldwide Technology Soccer Park. Law enforcement battles firefighters and EMTs on the field, all for a great cause. 971talk.com/events.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell, definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit information kit. 800-948-7878. That's 800-948-7878.
Did you know replacing old vinyl windows with more vinyl windows might not be the best choice? Hi, it's Kim, and I'm here to tell you about Infinity from Marvin Windows, because these fiberglass windows, they're energy efficient, they're beautiful, and they're custom built to fit your home perfectly. The team at Lakeside Renovation and Design just makes the process so easy. I love the fact that they even offer a lifetime workmanship warranty. Look, if you're tired of drafts, high energy bills, or maybe hard to open windows, now's the time to upgrade. Visit windowsbylakeside.com to schedule your free consultation today.
According to MasterCard, nearly half of small businesses have been a victim of a cyber attack. As cybercrime escalates, ThrottleNet is calling on businesses to strengthen their security posture by taking a free online IT security audit right from your desk. This 3-minute online assessment provides an immediate score to see security gaps and vulnerabilities in your network. For 26 years, ThrottleNet has supported your business IT everything right here in St. Louis. In fact, no client of ThrottleNet has ever paid a ransom. So visit throttlenet.com/971 to take the free assessment today.
True comfort is something you feel every day, and something your home should deliver effortlessly. It's in the quiet of your mornings, the consistency of your indoor temperature, and the way your home feels season after season. With Renewal by Andersen, every detail is designed for lasting performance and a seamless, refined experience. From consultation through installation, everything is handled by one experienced team, built around your home and your schedule. And with our exclusive Fibrex material, stronger than vinyl and built for extreme temperatures, you get durability that lasts. Save 20% off your entire project. Plus, take an additional $100 off every window and door, up to $1,000. With flexible financing options available, you can move forward with confidence. But this offer won't last long. Call by April 30th. Call 877-WINDOWS. Or visit renewalbyandersen.com today. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or renewalbyandersen.com. Renewal by Andersen. Superior products, exceptional service.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. 97.1 FM Talk. St. Louis Conservative.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! These are ways.
So good to have you back.
Thank you, and you'll love this topic. These are ways to compliment your coworkers without them getting uncomfortable, even if you don't mean it.
Fat chance.
That wasn't a compliment.
Yeah, you don't have to mean the compliments.
Them getting uncomfortable.
You do this with whatever motivation serves you best.
Okay.
Either you are doing it out of love,
Why
or
don't
you're doing
you?
it out of selfishness.
Why don't you test the theory on Ethan right now?
I will.
Okay.
These I'm going to read them. There are multiples here, and you can kind of mess with it. Make it your own. If you're listening, you don't have to just say this verbatim. You are. I'm glad to be back. Glad to see all of you. You are so patient. I admire how you kept your cool in that meeting. That doesn't make you uncomfortable, does it?
Well, we didn't come from a meeting.
If we were in a meeting,
Ryan, I don't remember the last time we were.
There was no meeting.
I don't remember the last time we were in a meeting, so it's hard to give I guess I feel a little bit confused more than anything.
Do you want to hear that your coworker is admiring you?
Yeah, you do.
I know you do.
Yeah, you absolutely do. You are so patient. I admire how you kept your cool in that meeting. And you say it too while putting your hand on their knee. Oh, God. And there was no meeting.
I don't know. Do you want to hear that, Ethan? I admire you for fill in the blank here.
I don't have a problem. I actually appreciate being complimented. It's the part where the hand goes on the knee that
does the tone matter?
To lose me. Yeah, the tone
I would
is
think
everything.
That it does. I would think that it does.
Yeah, the tone is everything.
Number 2.
Wait, what about Brad?
Oh, Brad, do you like being told that?
I've actually received that exact compliment one time.
From
another teacher when we were in a teacher's
Did
conference.
she put her hand on your knee?
She did not.
It was his wife.
Did she say?
Who's
Mr.
cooking
Range,
dinner?
I admire you.
Scooter says, "Is Wiggins in the meeting with you right now?"
Wiggins gonna have a meeting with HR after the show. That's what he's gonna have a meeting.
Good luck.
It's Brits daily.
But to answer the question, it's like,
Next.
If it's a genuine compliment, I like it. All right, next one. Have I told you lately how kind you are? Thank you for bringing me coffee. Annie does this sometimes. She'll bring us scooters. Picking up a shift for me. Annie doesn't do that.
You darn right I freaking do. Where you been, son? Where you been? You tell Ethan right now, thank you. Ethan's working his tail off right now covering
I
for
will
you.
say thank you.
Yeah.
You are patient, and I admire you.
I don't want it.
How you keep your cool when I'm not here in this meeting.
There's a lot of mailing
This
it in.
3-hour meeting. Thank you for
3-hour
picking up
meeting?
my shift.
Mhm.
Thank you for taking out the garbage,
Wait, what?
doing unselfish, considerate things.
You're just saying thank
You're
you to people.
You're literally just reading off of a list.
Well, yeah, but
generic
you can be thank you for
yous that you
anything.
Googled.
Yeah, do you even mean it?
Things to thank people for.
I told
and Ryan
you-
said, I'm going to do a Wiggins America segment
I
over
told
it.
Talk about mailing it in.
Motivation does not matter, either for me or for compliments, because they're going to make people feel good either way.
Ender says, how can anyone not admire Ethan?
Ryan walks by your office and he's like, "Hey, Brad, I just wanted to tell you."
Have I told you lately how kind you are?
In that exact monotone
Bye.
voice.
If Ryan says that to me, he's going to be asking me to get him scooters tomorrow.
Thank you for this pleasant human interaction.
It's been great. Looking forward to what you can get me tomorrow.
And Ryan's going to go back to his office
Ryan's
and think
always
about butterscotch.
calculating, what do I get out of this?
Now, keep in mind, this is for the workplace.
Yeah, I am.
Right.
I am so proud of you.
No, God dang it. What's the source in this thing?
It's this doctor.
Is it Dr. Seuss?
Her name is
Dr.
Megan,
Pepper?
Megan McCarty.
Sounds like Mr. Rogers.
She
Doctor of
says that
discomfort.
you should say, "I'm so proud of you."
You can't even
got
say
this.
it
You
with a
got
straight
this. Come on.
face.
For going to therapy
What?
or going to rehab.
I don't want to know those
or just
things
going
about
to
it.
or just going to the gym.
At work?
That takes a lot of courage.
Make sure when you tell your coworker that you're proud of them for going to rehab, you do it in the cafeteria in a common place with a lot of people around.
Yes.
Here's what I want. Here's what I want to happen. I want us to come up with a name generator for every single person that works at Odyssey Inc. Not just on the programming side, but on sales side too. And I want to click that, and whoever pops up, I want Ryan to have to go to them and say, "I'm
Give
proud
them
of.
that compliment.
I'm proud of you for completing rehab."
I'm only doing it if it's the head of the company. All right. Has anyone ever told you that you make everyone feel welcome?
Oh gosh, why does this need to? Why in a group of adults do these things need to be said?
I would say that one sounds like a boomerang compliment because the person saying it really is the one that makes everybody feel welcome. It's coming right back to you like a boomerang.
Are you going to try that sometime? Make yourself feel good about yourself?
Yes.
Go tell that to Steve right now.
Listen to this one.
With video. I have to see what happens next.
I don't know how you keep all those plants alive,
What?
but I appreciate it. I guess if
You
got
said this is
somebody
from a
who's really
doctor.
into
What's the website?
topiary.
Who published this?
There's no real need to know that.
It's your tango, isn't it?
No, it's not your tango. It's a positivity website called
Wiggity Wiggins.
No, it is close though. It's called Wit and Delight. And then
Hard pass on all of these.
And then this one just says laugh, 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 laugh. No matter what, laugh. Even if they're telling you about rehab.
My dog died.
That's hilarious.
It seems inappropriate at times, but the article says you can do it. So
Okay.
you can.
Chris comments, I don't know how you keep all those cats alive.
What was the title of that segment again? What was it? Ryan?
Ways to compliment your coworkers without them getting uncomfortable.
Should have been ways to get HR called on you.
How about this one? Because there's just a couple here. I've never thought of it like that. Thank you for giving me a new perspective. That's nice.
That's the least worst one.
Your kids are so lucky to have you as a parent.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
No.
Yeah, that's a very nice one. And the last one is thank you for encouraging a judgment-free zone. I feel safe to be myself around you.
I hope that's the way we all feel here.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to text you guys all of these at some point in the next 2 weeks.
I don't want them.
I'm going to get the rehab one. I know it.
I don't want them.
I want you to start sending them to Jared. That's what I want you to start doing. Start sending them to Jared and Terry.
Hey, I got a question for you. This is a leftover from X's and Y's. from yesterday. You didn't miss it. When you're with your buddies, do you trash each other's wives?
Absolutely not.
Really? Thank you.
Never.
Like,
is that a common thing?
Well, they said that that's common.
Annie,
the wife
well,
is there.
okay.
You are.
That's what you
misspeaking.
said.
No.
You later clarified that you'll do it if the wives are present.
Thank you. That's what I said.
If the wives are present, maybe
Different
maybe
story.
if they're good, if
It's a
good
different
joke.
story.
And it's a way to dog on the guy, not the wife.
You insult the
Yes.
wife to insult the man.
Yes.
And I asked Ethan, okay, what kind of insult would you say to Jared? And he panicked. And I said, if Ryan were here, he wouldn't have panicked. He would have leaned heavily into it. So you can think on that a little bit and give me some insults that you tell Jared to insult him, but would feature me.
Okay.
The rest of the show
I'm
is
just
going to
gonna
be
text Jared these. Though.
You should just see how he handles it.
Yeah.
That would be great. We'll be right back.
Do you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt or personal loans? With credit card debt at all-time highs, Debt Relief Advocates is urgently notifying consumers of debt relief now being made available, designed to aid consumers with out-of-control credit card debt. Those who qualify and enroll for this relief program will only have to pay back a fraction of what they owe. This is not bankruptcy or a debt consolidation loan. This is a relief program that credit card companies would rather you not know about, as it ends your debt nightmare and saves you lots of money. Consumers owing at least $10,000 in credit card debt or personal loans can now take advantage of this debt relief as the cost of living skyrockets. Debt Relief Advocates has established a relief hotline for you to call to learn what debt reduction you may qualify for, so don't wait. For this free information, call the Relief Hotline at 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164. 800-390-1164.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777.
Iran's president says they welcome dialogue on Lisa Brady, Fox News. But in the Strait of Hormuz, Iran has fired on 3 cargo ships, seizing 2.
The UK reports the first attack happened on a container ship around 4 a.m. local time off the coast of Oman. An IRGC gunboat caused heavy damage to that ship's bridge. About 2.5 hours later, the second cargo ship was fired at off the coast of Iran.
Fox's Matt Finn in Islamabad, where another round of peace talks had been expected. For now, President Trump extending a ceasefire and continuing a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports. Just getting word a member of Congress has died. Democrat David Scott was seeking a 13th term in the House, facing another primary challenge in Georgia. The congressman was 80 years old. No word yet on a cause of death, but Scott had declining health in recent years. And his death comes at a turbulent time in Congress following the recent resignations of 3 House members who have been facing possible expulsion. Also, as a redistricting fight continues around the country, with Virginia voters deciding yesterday to let state lawmakers draw new maps this year.
The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee Chair, Susan DelBene, says now that Virginia has joined California in voting to redraw their congressional maps, Democrats will have an extra 10 seats likely in this fall's midterms.
Because Democrats are listening to the people, we are winning.
State Republicans have sued to keep the Virginia map from taking effect. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries says they're not too worried.
There's no basis in law or fact for the Virginia Supreme Court, particularly in the aftermath of a people-approved referendum, to do anything other than to allow it to move forward.
He says if Florida Republicans now try to reshape their map in response, it will backfire, as he says it has in Texas.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. Yesterday's victory for Democrats was a very narrow win. President Trump just posting the result is a rigged election. America is listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Tons of sunshine around town as we go through our Wednesday afternoon. In the 70s. Tonight, clear skies, 59. Thursday, sunny and breezy. 83 Thursday afternoon. Scattered showers late Thursday night. It will be after midnight. And Friday, scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms, 78. It's not a widespread severe weather outbreak. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Get your AC ready for summer while helping shelter pets. Book your AC clean and check in April, and Air Comfort Service will donate a bag of pet food to Open Door Animal Sanctuary. AirComfortService.com/pet food.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ray.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
When you say that Iran has agreed to turn over their nuclear dust, what does that mean? Are they destroying their nuclear material? They're turning it over. Can you walk us through what that process looks like, sir?
We're taking it. Very simple. We're taking it. Yeah. With Iran. We're going in with Iran.
Does that mean U.S. is on the ground to get that?
I don't call it boots on the ground. We'll take it after the agreement is signed. After there's a big difference. Before and after. BC. It's before and after.
Sir, in the Strait, are there going to be restrictions?
After the agreement is signed, it's a lot different than before. We would have taken it. If we didn't have an agreement, we would take it. But I don't think we'll have to.
President Trump on Air Force One talking about the uranium that exists in Iran, what the Americans intend to do with it. We get a deal and then we take it. That's what President Trump is saying there on aboard Air Force One. Let's get to our guest. Deroy Murdock joins us once again, nationally syndicated columnist, Project 21 ambassador, and Fox News contributor with your latest piece in The Spectator, spectator.org. What's the deal with Iran's uranium fetish? Deroy, welcome back. Good to have you with us.
Annie, great to talk to you. Yeah, I've heard the Iranians come out and say, well, we want the right to enrich uranium. This is so important. And so I just sort of asked the question for my own curiosity. Why is this so important to these folks? Is it that they are running out of petroleum? Well, actually, they're the number 3 biggest producer, or not producer, I should say, the number 3 largest reserves in the world for petroleum. They've got the second biggest for natural gas, so they're not about to run out of any of that stuff. In fact, they have a supply of 137 years of proven reserves for natural gas that would take them up to the year 2163, which, by the way, would be my personal bicentennial. So they've got a lot of energy there. They don't have a big kind of Greta Thunberg type of environmental movement saying, oh, my God, the fossil fuels are terrible. We have to stop the climate crisis. So that's not really happening. And so you wonder, okay, well, maybe they need it for atomic energy. Now, if their thought is that they need atomic energy, even though they've got all this fossil fuels underneath the sands of their country, you only need to enrich uranium-235 to 3% or 5% to run a commercial nuclear reactor for the production of electricity. This information I researched and learned for the first time ever. Highly enriched uranium kicks in at 20% purity. The Iranians are now up to 60%. Now, 60% is 12 times purer than what you would need if you're running an atomic energy plant. So they're way past the purity needed if they just wanted to do this to keep the lights on in Tehran. And then 90% is weapons grade, where you can do fun things like produce atomic bombs and blow up millions of people. And of course, this is really disturbing. There's a gentleman named Robert Golston, who's a nuclear expert, and he wrote recently for an arms control publication, I'm quoting, 99% of the work needed to enrich the full stockpile to 90% has already been performed. So all they need to do is run the centrifuges about 1% more than they have already, and the 60% enriched uranium suddenly becomes 90%. That's weapons grade. So these people are way closer to having the main ingredient or active ingredient for atomic weapons than I think anybody knew, that certainly that I knew, and I followed this stuff pretty closely. I was quite startled to see that they are as far along as they are, and I think that is one of the explanations, one of the justifications for the conflict in which we find ourselves in the Middle East today.
Yeah, I've shared this graph that you shared with me with the uranium enrichment levels and uses, and I think that it's silly for people to look at what Iran is doing with their uranium and also their motivation. What do they talk about when they are talking about, being a world power and the influence that they want to have and the terror that they invest in? I mean, follow the money. Certainly you can see what their end goal is. It's terrorism. And when they sit down initially before the Operation Epic Fury began with Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, among other negotiators, and they brag and boast about having enough uranium for 10 or 11 nukes. I mean, I just feel like that's the end of the game here. If that's the message that they're going to bring to the table, how does anybody look at Iran and think, maybe we can talk some sense into them?
You're absolutely right. As you say, they when they sat down, I believe it was in Oman, to have the discussions before Operation Epic Fury started, their opening bid was, hey, we've got enough 460 kilograms, which would be roughly about 1,000 pounds of 60% enriched uranium, and we can build 10 to 11 bombs with that. Now, when you hear that kind of thing, that's a lot different from, hey, we're just using this to keep the lights on and make sure that people are able to use their electric stoves and, run their jacuzzis or whatever it might be. So they've gotten away from that narrative, and the narrative is, hey, we're very close to be able to build 10 or 11 bombs and blow up pick any 10 or 11 cities you like. You don't even need to have the capacity to do that if you don't have the scientific wherewithal. Very easily just take a regular conventional bomb, add a few tablespoons of uranium, blow it up somewhere, and then pretty soon somebody comes out with a Geiger counter and realizes, oh my God, Times Square is glowing in the dark. Piccadilly Circus has got gamma rays bouncing around all over the place. That is dangerous. That causes potentially cancer galore. But boy, psychologically, if people think, oh my God, the Iranians are going to be blowing up uranium bombs all around the world, even if they're not actual mushroom cloud bombs, but just regular bombs that go off with some radioactivity mixed in. Boy, you talk about collapsing real estate values, bank balance sheets heading straight down, the Dow dropping 2,000 points one day, et cetera, et cetera. You can create tremendous economic and psychological havoc without having a degree from MIT or the ability to split atoms and trigger an actual fission chain reaction. You can do that with just a little bit of dynamite or maybe some fertilizer and a little bit of uranium. It doesn't even have to be weapons grade. You can probably do that with 60% and create all kinds of chaos. So these are not stable people. These are not nice people. They don't like us. They've been screaming death to America for 47 years. And when people say that sort of thing and say it consistently, not just, somebody got drunk one night and yelled it, ha ha, is that cute? They've been screaming this for almost 50 years, and they mean it. And these people have to be neutralized, which is too bad. I'm sure there are a lot of other people, a lot of other things we can do with our time and effort and money, but these people need to be stopped. If it's not now, I'd rather stop them now than try to stop them when we have a missile heading straight into the National Mall with, 5 minutes to go.
We're speaking with Deroy Murdock, the nationally syndicated columnist, with his latest piece in The Spectator, also Fox News contributor. What do you make of these political opponents of Donald Trump and this administration? I mean, they make no bones about it. They are very clear consistently about how much they hate Donald Trump. But we have several very high-profile Democrats going overseas and trashing the president, trashing the understanding of what we're trying to do in Iran, and in some cases almost even kind of advocating that maybe Iran is a little more successful than Donald Trump is in this endeavor. What do you make of those individuals?
Oh, it's astonishing. I think Chris Murphy said just the other day, I guess there was some news that apparently 26, or claim anyway, that I think it was 26 ships somehow had evaded the U.S. blockade and had gotten past our naval vessels in the Persian Gulf or near there. And his response is, quote, awesome, unquote. Unbelievable. Now, you can have criticisms of the way that President Trump is handling this war, have questions about whether it's being handled the best way possible or whatever, but to sit there and yell awesome when people have skirted the U.S. Naval blockade of Iran is just, it's like, it's like rooting for the Nazis. It's like rooting for the Soviet Union. It's like rooting for our enemies and rooting for the Viet Cong, for that matter. This is a vicious, nasty government. This isn't just a government with which we have some different views on trade or taxes or something like that. This is a vicious anti-Semitic, anti-American, misogynistic, homophobic government, and the biggest sponsor of state sponsor of terrorism on the planet Earth, and has been so designated since the 1980s. And they're responsible for the deaths of hundreds of Americans over the last almost 50 years. And there you've got U.S. Senator, Democrat from Connecticut, Chris Murphy, responding, quote, awesome, unquote, when people
he says he was sarcastic. But I mean, yikes.
He wrote it down. He didn't just say it. This was written in a ex post or something like that. People say things offhand without really thinking, but he went to the trouble of writing it down and putting it on social media. So it wasn't just something just totally off the cuff.
I wanted to ask you before we let you go, Deroy, and I don't know how deep you've dived into the Southern Poverty Law Center story, but I have to get your thoughts on it if you have some formulated already about the indictment that has come in about what the Southern Poverty Law Center, you know, the one that's out there labeling all of these conservative-minded groups as hate groups over and over and over again. And then that's cited as gospel on all of the, you know, anti-conservative, anti-traditionalist news media outlets for over the last couple decades. What do you make of what the Southern Poverty Law Center has been revealed to have been accused of?
Yeah, I just read, funny you should mention that, I just read this story, the Blaze Media covered it, and I just read this within the last hour or so, and I was just absolutely astonished. I mean, I think some of us have suspected that some of these groups create racism in order for them to fight racism. If people are getting along, then, why do you need the Southern Poverty Law Center? But the allegation here is that these people coughed up more than $3 million and gave money to the Aryan Nation, to the former members of the KKK, the Unite the Right members, and they basically encouraged these people to go and stage that event in Charlottesville in August of 2017. Unfortunately, somebody there stepped on his gas pedal and drove through a crowd and killed a woman. So I think they've got her blood on their fingers. And this whole thing was basically staged and invented. I mean, if there's no poverty, if there's no racism, the Southern Poverty Law Center really has nothing to do. So they got to invent racism, fabricate racism so they can run to their donors, say, oh my God, look at these racist people. And in fact, I believe Apple stepped up and gave them $1 million. I think George Clooney and his wife coughed up $1 million. Other folks said, oh my God, I'm glad you're fighting these awful Nazis and Klansmen, and out came the checkbooks. So this is just disgusting. And having seen this, if this thing turned out to be sort of like a modern day version of the Reichstag fire, which the Nazis did right after they took power, they evidently set a fire, believing it a communist. They said, oh my God, the communists burned down the Reichstag. We got to give Hitler extraordinary powers so he can put an end to this. That's how he was able to get the enabling decree passed and basically rule by decree for the rest of his term. If this is an American version of that kind of thing, was January 6th also something staged by the left to make the right look bad? And were they handing out money to people to pretend to be, overzealous Trump supporters who then kicked in windows and broke through doors, et cetera, to storm into the Capitol, and then give the left a talking point about which they never shut up, which every single day January 6th, January 6th, January 6th, they yell about this all the time. And was that also cooked up? Was that concocted? Was that bought and paid for by the left to make the right look bad? This is astonishing, and I think this tells people what the left is today. These aren't just people who want to, tax the rich people a little bit and give some money to the poor and make sure that poor people are able to eat and be comfortable. We're so far beyond that, where these people are actually staging racist events to make conservatives look bad. And as I say, in the one in Charlottesville, actually a female protester got killed as a consequence. So these people have a dead body for which they are responsible. So this is horrible, disgusting, and I think this proves, if anybody had any doubts, this is no longer your grandmother and grandfather's Democrat Party.
Deroy, I just think you, as a black man, a lot of people listening on the radio may not know or infer the color of your skin, of course. But the Southern Poverty Law Center, they flock towards things and inflame things that they deem to be racist. You're a black man who's a conservative. Do you think the Southern Poverty Law Center would be there to defend you?
Oh, no. I think if I got in any trouble, they would be leading the charge to make sure I got locked up or thrown into a cave for the rest of my life or whatever it is. No, I don't think they have any interest in defending black conservatives. I think that they probably would challenge the notion that I'm black at all. They'd say, well, I'm not really black, he's really white, or something like this. No, these people, look, they may have started off with a good cause at some point, but these people obviously have lost the script and drifted off into something which is now, according to the Department of Justice, full-on fraud. And to make money off of this, to create this artificial racist situation, then use that to raise money. By the way, I hope that if the Department of Justice is going after left-wing groups for fraud, they go after Black Lives Matter. I mean, after the whole George Floyd riots, these guys raised a lot of money. Corporations just opening their checkbooks saying, hey, how much money would you like? Here, would you like $1 million? Would you like $2 million? And then they took that money and turned Black Lives Matter into basically a real estate operation. And they went off and literally bought mansions in Beverly Hills with this money. Pure fraud. And people, to my knowledge, nobody's ever paid a price for that. These people should be in prison for fraud. And if they, I imagine if they used any electronic devices that cross state lines, it's instantly wire fraud and something across state lines to make it a federal crime, and that would be in federal penitentiary for what they did. And by the way, I don't think any of their money, or very little of their money, actually went to help poor black people in need.
Yeah.
It went to help these people acquire wealthy, beautiful mansions in white neighborhoods. I mean, talk about bait and switch. I mean, really astonishing level of fraud involved in that whole operation.
Do you feel as though this country in the last, 15 years, certainly, it seems as though it probably centers around hope and change and a fundamental transformation of the United States of America, the campaign slogans for President Obama's campaign and successful campaign to be the president. We've been led to believe in the last 15 to 20 years that we are a very racist country, that our entire foundation is one of great sin that I don't know can actually ever be atoned for. Has that been a funded lie?
Well, I think it's definitely a lie, and I think it has been funded. I mean, George Soros and these other groups, the Tides Foundation, et cetera, have coughed up a lot of money for various groups on the left. I know that Ibram X. Kendi, who's one of the big proponents of critical race theory, I believe he received about $30 million to start some kind of a critical race theory center. I believe it was at Boston University, if I'm not mistaken. That money apparently has gone up in smoke. Nobody knows where it is. It's been grossly mismanaged, if not swiped. And he's gotten himself, I don't know if he's gotten in legal trouble, but I think his reputation has been sullied as a consequence of all that. But there are a lot of people who use the fight against supposed racism in this country as just a gravy train to get guilty white liberals and guilty corporations to write them big fat checks, and then they use that money to enjoy lavish and comfortable lifestyles. So at the same time telling little black boys and little black girls, oh, it's a rigged system, it's a racist country, you're not going to make it, just give it up. There's no reason for you to try to succeed because you're going to be held down, while these people are bringing in literally tens of millions of dollars to line their pockets. It's absolutely disgusting, and I would say these are very well-funded left-wing lies.
Yeah, lies. Deroy Murdock, thank you for sharing your piece with us. I encourage people to check out the What's the Deal with Iran's Uranium Fetish article in The Spectator, and we'll have you back again next week. Thanks for being with us today, Deroy.
All right, Annie. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye-bye. That Southern Poverty Law Center story, I think, is wild, and I think we're going to continue to hear more investigation that involves, if this is happening, I doubt it's the only place. Interesting connection there that Deroy, questions that he's asking out of this. Any involvement or infiltration of January 6th? I know a lot of you all have questions, and I, for one, have been interested in answers to those questions just for the clarity's sake. I don't have an invested heart into, the outcome being something that fits the narrative that I've held tightly to, but boy, do I have a lot of questions. I bet you do too. I'd just like to know. Let's take a break. Ryan's coming back in here in just a minute. The YouTube poll for today. Would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? Yes or no? We'll be right back. AirComfortService.com is the website. You can give them a call at 314-513-0091. That's 314-513-0091. A reminder that Air Comfort Service, they have 24/7 emergency call service that they can provide for you. So put this number in your phone. I really encourage this. If you are taking care of mom or dad, maybe they're living in their own place, and you want to make sure, especially going into the summer when the temperatures get hot, that their comfort zone is there and present for them all of the time. The second that it's not, and you got to send someone over to that home, to your kid's home, to your own home, you want to make sure that you're going to be hiring good people to do that. Air Comfort Service, These are those people. With almost 60 years of being in the business, Air Comfort Service is ready to take your phone call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays included. And you can have them come over and they'll check on your AC, make sure everything is in good working order, and get you back into your comfort zone ASAP. Call 314-513-0091, aircomfortservice.com.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Things are changing fast and no one knows what comes next. Times like these make you realize just how important it is to be prepared. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. They're America's #1 most trusted resource for survival food, solar power, water filtration systems, and more. Go to preparewithamerica.com to unlock a special offer that'll help you get ready for whatever comes our way. Go to preparewithamerica.com to see the special offer right now. That's preparewithamerica.com.
Last year, I had back pain radiating down my right leg. The pain was so bad I was willing to cut my leg off to stop the pain. I could barely walk and had to stoop over when I did just to take pressure off the spine. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. In my professional career, I've represented thousands of people who've had herniated discs and issues with their neck and back, but never fully appreciated what they were going through until it was my turn. It's like trying to describe colors to a blind person who's never had sight. All I can tell you is it hurt like hell, but worse. My daily walk was gone, and that bothered me a great deal. Then I thought of all of you and how much more devastating this type of injury could be for you. My life stopped. I now feel your pain. Just know at Morgan & Morgan, we got your back. I understand. Morgan means more.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Ready for instant curb appeal that comes with a 25-year transferable warranty? Call Rhino Shield today. We do brick, block, stucco, asbestos, aluminum, steel, cedar, and more. Over the past 20 years, we've done thousands of homes, businesses, churches, schools, condos, parking garages, large metal buildings, and strip malls, from Champaign to the Lake of the Ozarks. We do flat and sloped metal roofs to extend their lives too. Proud to be veteran-owned and manufactured in the good old USA, so we're tariff-free. We're exceeding expectations every day. Evaluations are free. A+ rated with the BBB and a lot of 5-star Google reviews. Call 877-25-RHINO, 877-25-RHINO, or 877-25rhino.com. See what we did there? Genius. Tell them, ladies.
Don't paint, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve, or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. The YouTube poll is asking, would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? Yes or no, Ryan?
A lot of texts on this subject.
No, I want your thoughts.
Oh, mine. Oh, okay. Well, no, I would not.
No boots?
No boots. Just partially because even the best guarantee wouldn't guarantee it.
What do you mean?
Unless there's some sort of like godlike figure that could tell me, yes, absolutely, it would end earlier. And even in that case, I just don't know because we might lose more lives too. So I'm a no on this poll.
Do you think that the conflict can be resolved without boots on the ground?
Yeah.
How?
I think they keep doing what they're doing and just keep choking off all their money, all their military assets. And
do you think Iran is gonna change their minds?
No, I think that they'll be forced into actions that we have predetermined. I don't think they will do so willingly.
Okay, let's talk to let's listen to the texts.
The text line, and these are very thoughtful responses, and they're all over the board. The first person says, sure would, yes. The second, right afterwards, says, I will only support boots on the ground if it's special forces action, not regular armed forces. The next person right after that says, I had a brother killed in Vietnam, so absolutely no. And then the fourth one, these are all back-to-back, says, as an Iraq war veteran and one who has a son and daughter currently in the Army, I only support boots on the ground to temporarily create a cordon inside the country to recover and extract their enriched uranium, then get out of Dodge.
I think that's reasonable. I would assume that if we do have boots on the ground, they're special forces. I would be kind of surprised if we didn't already have that to an extent. I also do trust the people making the decisions to know when it's necessary and when it's not. It's just very interesting to hear General Kellogg talk about how we're working very hard to negotiate with people who are not ever going to negotiate. So the effort that is being made, and, of course, if you can, President Trump has had a lot of success through economic pressure, achieving elements of peace. So it's worked in a lot of other places, but it's always interesting how upstream of all of those places have been terrorized by Iran-funded terrorism and different factions of terrorism that they get their dollar, whatever the monetary element is, they get it from Iran. And so I feel like Iran is a little bit different, which is why I assume that the president determined that it was necessary to go about this in this way, to say, okay, you basically have to cut off the head of the snake. We're about 2 months into this. I am not, how do I put this best? I've mentioned this before multiple times as just somebody who is a host of a show, that nobody comes and tells me what to say here. I am responsible for what I say, in that I get to say whatever I want. And if I say something that crosses the line at some point, I'm going to lose my job. I understand that. Many a broadcaster before me has experienced that, sometimes fairly, sometimes very unfairly. But I don't get talking points or marching points from the Trump administration. I'm not connected with the RNC or the GOP. I really am a mom, a wife, somebody who's trying to make ends meet, and I'm looking at the world in the same way that you are looking at the world, going, what do we do next? I don't have inside tracks. The closest thing I have to an inside track is the experts that I get to plug in with here on the show, that I get to ask what I deem to be kind of the dumb questions that we probably all have, and then the experts come on and they give us the intel that they do, and so we're all better for it. But I am growing tired of the publicizing of the ceasefire is until here. And if they do that, like the threats, the posturing, I just don't need it. I don't trust the administration any less than I ever have before. And I am grateful that they've engaged in the mission that they've engaged in. And I am very eager for them to see it all the way through. And I would not want the United States to limit their ability to see the thing all the way through because there's a political disadvantage to doing the thing they need to do to finish the job once and for all. And if that means putting boots on the ground to complete the mission, I trust our military, and I trust that the people who made the choice, who elected to sign up to serve their country, I trust that the people involved will make that decision with full cognizant capacity. I can't judge it. I don't know stuff. I think it's easy to say no boots on the ground so that no boots on the ground so that at the end of the day you can feel like, well, I wasn't in favor of sending those people there. But the military has gone in over and over and over again across the globe to do things that were absolutely America first, to protect American lives, to protect American security. And we will not in the future continue to protect American security the way we need to if we never are willing to send boots in. We just won't be. Is this the time? I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to know. But I just am very personally adamant that crossing that off the list is just militarily it's malfeasance to say, well, we will not be doing that.
Oh, they should never say that they won't, for sure. Keeping it as an option is definitely a strategic move. There are so many opinions and continuing to come in here. One just says no, others saying yes. So I'm anxious to see how this poll turns out because it sounds like our audience is fairly split.
Wouldn't you think, though, going in that it would be a no? The majority answer on here is no on the boots on the ground?
I would guess that it would lean that way, yeah.
I don't know how overwhelmingly no it would be, but I would be surprised if the end result of this poll is yes, you'd support it. Brad, what do you think?
I think that you have to be willing to put boots on the ground if you think it'll end the conflict. This is really interesting. It's a paradox that I've noticed in polling over and over and over on this. They ask two questions. One, can or should Iran be able to have a nuclear weapon? Overwhelmingly, it's like 90-10. No, they cannot. Do you support boots on the ground to prevent Iran from having a nucnuclear weapon? Like 90-10. No, you don't support that.
I have not seen overwhelming support for the people saying to that extent
that no nuclear weapons for Iran has overwhelming support. The using the military to prevent Iran from getting nuclear weapons has overwhelming opposition. People don't like it.
I think the majority is opposition, but I don't think it's 90-10.
Yeah, they don't want it. And the problem is you have to be able to do this because Iran is a theocracy.
Here's a very interesting text that just came in. It says, knowing my daughter is in the process of joining the Army ROTC, I'm going to have to go with I voted for the people because I think they will make the right decisions for this type of situation and others.
I feel there's a lot of that. And the other thing, too, is to say that to have a blanket no boots, I think we all want no boots on the ground. It is a utopian position to say no boots on the ground. You don't want to have boots on the ground. We want to live in a world where that's not necessary. But the truth of the matter is, the way I see it, is if this instance requires our military to show up in person to finish the job so that we don't have to deal with something with our grandchildren in 20 years, then hell yes, you go in there and you finish the job. And the people who signed up for the opportunity to do this, in conversations I'm having with people who have served before, and I'm talking like people who are our age, who were out there in the war against terror or whatever, they want this thing done, and they are watching to make sure that it gets done all of the way. And when I listen to them talk, their biggest frustration with this moment right now is that they aren't the ones who get to go do it. If you gave them the opportunity, these are just anecdotal people that I'm talking to that I know personally. They're like, I wish we could have done this 15 years ago, and I wish I could have been part of it, because the dragging on and the politicization of the mission degraded it to the point where this is now necessary 15 years later in a 47-year war. I don't know. Go vote. We need your thoughts. So keep sending your text to Ryan, too, 314-241-9797 on the Annie Frey Show text line. The poll is, would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? You got any other texts you want to read right now, or come back with them?
We'll come back with them because there are more coming in.
All right. Keep them coming. 314-241-9797. We'll be right back.
The pressure on data centers has never been greater. Whether you're expanding capacity, supporting AI workloads, or building new facilities, Graybar works alongside you with the solutions, specialists, and logistics expertise you need today. We help you power performance every step of the way, so your operation is ready now. Yep, Graybar does that.
If you're considering an annuity as part of your retirement plan, we need to talk. Hi, I'm Bob Stockdale, Senior Vice President Investments with the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel and host of On the Money Saturday mornings at 11 on 97.1 FM Talk. Annuities can be a useful tool for some retirement investors, but not all annuities are created equal. Every week, we meet clients who own complex annuities that don't suit their needs and, in some cases, actively undermine their retirement plan. Before you purchase an annuity, get a second opinion from the ClearPath Wealth Management Group at Stifel. Requesting a consultation is free of charge. To request a free consultation, contact us at clearpathinvesting.com. That's clearpathinvesting.com, or call us at 636-695-2650. That's clearpathinvesting.com or 636-695-2650. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member NYSE and SIPC.
License number GL250000615.
We've seen all kinds of clogs, so remember the rule. Only flush 3 things. Number 1, number 2, and toilet paper.
What about my dinosaurs?
No.
My monster truck?
Nope.
What about...
If it's not the big 3, don't flush it.
But if someone does flush a dinosaur...
Call Grasser. We clear the clog and get things moving again.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Hey guys, Glover here with my very, very good friend, Dr. Kathy Maupin at BioBalanceHealth.com. If you have reached that certain age and you're just not feeling very well and nothing's working the way it used to work, go see Dr. Kathy. She is not only a medical doctor, she is a patient of this bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. It absolutely works. It's a long-term solution. She is an artist when it comes to helping you with your hormones. BioBalanceHealth.com for Dr. Kathy Maupin.
Okay, we are asking you this question and discussing it right now if you want to text in. The question is, would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? It's a simple yes or no, but a lot of reasons why, and that's why people are texting in and commenting on the live stream. That text number, if you'd like to join in, is 314-241-9797. Especially, hey, if you've never texted in and you have a thought on this question, would you support boots on the ground if Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? This is a great time to do that. 314-241-9797. It is 1:39. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
From Wood River to Weldon Springs, 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Ryan was just talking about that poll question. Get us your thoughts. Get us your votes. Really asking you if you want boots on the ground to get the job done quicker in Iran, yes or no. YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. Ryan, you were on vacation. What were you? Do you leave Friday after the show?
Yeah.
And then you got back yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like those long weekend vacations? Do you get to feel vacated enough with a long weekend?
Yeah, I like long weekends. The thing is, the older I get, the more I'm still acting like I'm in my 30s and packing those weekends absolutely full of theme parks and doing 20,000 steps and stuff. And I'm like, maybe I should slow down a little bit. So in that sense, it doesn't feel restful, but being away from everything is nice.
Yeah. And this was another kid trip.
Kid trip. Yeah, I take each one of my kids. It's like a biannual that we just kind of do a round robin. It was my youngest's turn, so we went down to Orlando and we did Legoland and we did SeaWorld, and both of those parks were awesome. Universal is crowded right now.
So you were at Universal?
We did go on Sunday.
Which park?
We did not the new one, so we didn't do Epic. We did the traditional Universal and Islands of Adventure. And man, it is just, people are going to that park right now, probably because of the new one. They're doing multi-day packages.
Yeah. Do your kids all like theme parks the same? Are they all riders? Do they all want to do the same type of rides? Or if you all went as a family, would there be some people doing things and some people not?
No, my daughter likes Disney the most because it's the prettiest. And she doesn't like rides as much. She likes them, but she doesn't love them.
She do the roller coasters?
She will, because she knows that that's why they're there. But
Does
not because she seeks them out.
Does she do them because she's a team player?
Yeah.
If it's just the two of you,
Yeah, she does them because she knows.
because of you.
That's why we're there, sort of. But
That's why you're there.
I also back way off, and I just do things. We do more shows and things that are for her.
Her pace.
Yeah, and that's actually a lot of fun. And then my oldest, Sinjin, he loves rides. He's like, how can we accomplish as much in a day as we possibly can? Which is kind of my mentality. Now, River, my youngest, the one we just went with, Legoland, I have a lot of endorsement for that park. That is a fun park. He is 8 years old, so he's right at the limit. If you have kids or grandkids that are under 8, man, you're going to watch them really light up at that park. Because I remember going a few years ago, and all my kids just loved it. There's so many things that are tailored to them there. And so we got some media passes, and we went there, and it was just awesome. It was a fantastic day. And, when the weather's nice, that also helps.
We were talking a little bit off the air earlier. I had heard this, but there's a clarification on this. Legoland generally require adults to be accompanied by a child, except during adult night events. They're Legoland Discovery Centers. Do you know what that is?
Yes, that is more of like I think that's more the aquariums and the hands-on kind of stuff, more than the theme parks.
Is it where people are is it more museum-like, where you could have adults mixing with children and conversation and
possibly
on your own
I've
pace?
never been, but I've seen that stuff, and my guess is yes. Now, my guess is also that it's Lego-oriented, because if it's Legoland, they still have lots of Lego stuff. So it's probably still aimed at younger kids.
The AI response here is that it's a Legoland Discovery Centers generally require adults to be accompanied by a child. And it says, theme parks, you are welcome anytime, but focus on Miniland, Lego themed rides, and shows. I think it's interesting to hear that Legoland has identified places where you would really, if you want to be around here, you either need to be when it's adults only, or you need to be with the child yourself. Because there are a lot of people, Matt Walsh is the biggest hater of haters when it comes to Disney, where he talks about adults that would ever go to Disney by themselves, which I have done and I enjoy. I will say that if Jared and I go on our own, which we have not done in a long time, if we go on our own, we don't really ride rides very much. We might see a show. We pretty much will go eat fun, unique food, people watch, maybe sit by the pool, but it's really more time away.
Yeah, you're chilling in a really nice environment.
And we have a timeshare there, so it's like the points are paid for. That's where the investment is. But Matt Walsh will say that jail time for adults that don't have kids with them. And I'm always like, seems a little extreme. Why are you so angry? You know what you need? A magical trip. I would love, this is ridiculous, but I would love to take Matt Walsh to Disney World and show him a good time. No kids. Sans children.
So let's send this to him.
Yeah, I'm sure this will do great things for our show.
Put us on the radar.
Lose my entire conservative radio
The national
broadcaster
stage.
card. Be completely hated by the entire conservative influencer world. I just think it's really interesting, too, though, to look under the comments when he posts things like that. There are a ton of people who are like, I'm conservative and I love to go to Disney. I just can't, when you are in a position to take your kid to these places, the next time you go and you see these places, you're thinking to yourself, I remember when kiddo number 3 and I went on that and this happened. Or I remember when you're creating, I feel like for me that the repeat visit to a specific place where every time we come back, months, if not a year or so, have gone by since they were a little bit littler the last time we were there. It's like I'm fortifying this.
I know exactly what you mean.
Memory bank.
Yeah.
Where I remember when they rode Dumbo for the first time or whatever it might be. We don't do the other theme parks as much because, like I said, we invested in one place and we go there. It's really similar to, if you've got a lake house and you like to go to the lake house so you can golf, I get it. I respect it. I would like to do that too. But I can't spread around. I need more clients. I'd like to. I have to prioritize my kids and all that. But I just think that the aggression for hatred, I just think it's probably good for clicks. It's just like when I say that if you're a baseball commentator on X and you make a list. Like if your engagement is a little low, what you do is you make a list of the top 5 Hall of Fame bound catchers, and you just don't put Yachty in it. Because when you don't put Yachty in it, what do Cardinals fans do for your algorithm? We go freaking crazy, and we're commenting and retweeting about blah, 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 and now your algorithm goes crazy. The Disney hate that comes from the Matt Walshes, the comments underneath it, there are a lot of people like me who are like, okay, you know, I there's a lot of criticism to be had, but it's kind of fun, and it's super nice.
We went ahead and went for it and did the immersive stay at Legoland and stayed in the hotel. And that's where that happened for me, was remembering when my kids, the only other time we were there was 2021, I think.
And they're so much littler.
The kids were so much littler. And now watching them, at least River, be older, it was like, oh, yeah, okay, we've moved on here.
You get to box up these memories, and they stay there, and you go back, and they hit you hard.
Yeah, I did.
But it's very nostalgic, and it's comforting. As a mom who like thinks about these from time to time, I like cry on the airplane going there and coming back. Sometimes I tear up and I just think about it. I don't know why I do that to myself. It seems kind of stupid. Let's talk to my friend Thomas Helbig here in studio with the Retirement Advisory Group next. Don't go away.
Let's show our appreciation for local heroes. Mark Cox here. Nominate a first responder and their department could get lunch from Grill Master Tony's. I'll personally deliver it. Share their story at 971talk.com. Nominate them today.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year, this year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down, 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
This is attorney Todd Nissenholz of Kaufman Townsley, and here's one of our clients.
The team at Kaufman Townsley really goes above and beyond to take care of their clients and secure them the justice they deserve.
Injured? Call 314-777-7777.
Is your driveway cracked or your sidewalk sinking? Buckeye Concrete can fix it. From concrete lifting and leveling to full replacement, they bring over 25 years of experience to every project. Quality concrete work that lasts. Get your free estimate today at BuckeyeConcreteInc.com.
The ACA Marketplace has announced significant increases on their monthly premiums for 2026, with deductibles over $10,000. You can enroll with Greg Hammond's Freedom of Choice plans now. You don't have to wait. One of their plans lets you use any doctor, has 0 outpatient deductibles, and it's 30 to 60% lower costs than most Obamacare plans. Other options are full coverage PPOs with national networks, copays, and 100% annual preventative care. Also, there's no income disclosure required, so no potential tax penalties. If you pay for your own health insurance, you're uninsured, you're on COBRA, or your employer coverage is just too expensive, call Greg and they'll provide all available options. Call 314-794-7784. That's 314-794-7784. Or go to greghammonds.com. That's greghammonds.com. He can custom design a plan managed and chosen by you, not the government.
The Annie Frey Show is St. Louis conservative.
All right, we got a friend in here. I'm so excited to see you. Thomas Helbig, it's been a minute since you've been in here with us. Thomas Helbig of the Retirement Advisory Group. And we have on Tuesday another opportunity to get together at the Doubletree in Chesterfield, which is a great venue this coming Tuesday for the next Protecting Your Retirement educational event. I'll be there from 6 to 6:30, hoping to meet Many of you just need to call and reserve your spot. So, Thomas, what are you talking about this Tuesday at this event?
We're going to be talking about a few things. First off, we're going to teach people, if you're nearing retirement or already retired and you'd like to know how to turn your 401k or your IRA into a worry-free retirement, that's what we're going to talk about. Because for the past 40 years, our clients have had a worry-free retirement. They don't worry about losing money. They don't worry about running out of money. Now, that's one thing we're going to talk about. Another thing, if you're nearing retirement and you're wondering, can we afford to retire right now? Or how much income will we have in retirement if we do retire? You're going to be able to get your own personalized retirement income plan, which will basically answer the questions. Can you afford to retire? It will show you how much income you'll be able to generate in retirement, but more importantly, it's going to show you how long your money lasts. And that's the two things most retirees want to worry about. One other thing, if you haven't turned on your Social Security yet, most people wonder, should I turn it on at 62?
Have you turned your Social Security on yet?
I have not.
You're pushing that age.
No, I have not.
But, you could turn on at 62, 67, or 70. We'll run your own personalized Social Security analysis, which will show you how to optimize all your Social Security benefits and what's best for your situation. So you don't want to miss this event.
Thomas, 60s. I'm in my mid-40s.
Mid-40s? You got a little while, Ryan.
And I tell you what, every time I hear somebody try to explain when you should start Social Security and you can't, I don't know what it means. I don't understand it. I don't understand why you would
come to
wait
the seminar
until a certain time. So when you say that, I'm like, when I get to that point, I'm absolutely
We
doing
will
that.
run an analysis for you, and it will show you, based on your situation, individually, how many years it will take you to break even if you start early, and so on, or if you wait. And that's what we'll do for everybody.
What are the biggest things, Thomas, that affect when you should click yes and I'll take my Social Security now?
One of the things, first off, it depends on what your income is, what kind of investments you have, and what your life expectancy is. What is your health like? Because it takes, a lot of times when you're waiting to get that most amount, it takes years, sometimes 84, 85 years old, just to break even. So it's sometimes worth to take it early.
What if you're in your mid-60s and you eat a lot of candy?
Well, I can't get into that because I'm not quite sure.
That's the only thing you like eating.
Yeah, I just am predicting Ryan's future.
But folks, if you don't miss this event, all the seats are filling up fast.
Yeah.
Go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com, or call the office 314-993-9494.
What's it like for you to watch the market do what the market's been doing? Because, of course, whatever's going on in Iran, it plummets, and now it's almost crawled all the way back. For people who are very close on that bubble that you talk to and they're watching the market, if they're panicking, then they probably haven't prepared themselves to not have to freak out when the market is freaking out.
And that's why you need to come to this event. My clients do not freak out. They don't worry about the markets going up and down because they know, number one, their life savings is protected. They're not going to lose any of the down when the market goes down. You are going to get returns based on what the index does over that whole year. But we avoid the downside. We avoid the fees. And my clients, we show them how to get an income the rest of their life. Well, they'll never run out of money. And they can turn that money down, hand it down to their heirs, and so on. So attend this event, folks, if you're near retirement or already retired. You don't want to miss it.
Do you ever talk to people who are like, gosh, I'd really like to retire in a year or two, and they're hoping that it's in the next inning of their life, and you're like, you could retire right now.
Oh, it happens all the time. And that's
they don't know.
And they have no idea. That's why it's important to get this personalized retirement income plan. It is the most wonderful feeling when we look over and a client, they see it all on the big screen, what kind of income they're going to have the rest of their life and how long their money will last. And it's the greatest feeling when they look over to each other and say, honey, we can afford to retire right now. Let's do it. Or we can retire in 6 months. We can afford to do this. And that's what this personalized retirement income plan does for them. They'll know exactly how much they're going to have, how long their money's going to last.
What about people who come in and they're worried about that? And, I think there's probably got to be some people out there who may think that they can never retire. And
a lot of them do.
They need to have a clear understanding of, yes, you can, but here's what you have to do. And now they have a plan, which means maybe it isn't like, oh, yeah, the best news is you could retire right now, but you could retire in a couple years.
Exactly.
And now they have something they didn't know that they could.
That's why it's so important to have your own personalized written plan, because then you see exactly, here's the amount of income we're going to have starting right now. If we wait a year, if we wait 2 years, here's how much long it's going to last, and here's what we're going to be able to leave our heirs. It's the most wonderful feeling that people see this and they look over and they're like, we can afford to do this now.
Well, call.
And that's what you need, folks.
314-993-9494. And I love it when they're all Annie Frey Show listeners. So flood that room and get the spots before they are taken up. And come see me. I'll get there at 6 next Tuesday. Event starts at 6:30. RetirementKey.com. Thanks,
At
Thomas.
the Doubletree in Chesterfield.
That's right. We'll be right back.
Thank you, everybody.
HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com. I want to talk to you a little bit about a system that they have called peering, which will help you if you've noticed, man, the foundation has shifted a little bit. Something has happened, some settling has occurred. This often presents itself in your home through maybe a little bit of a crack in the wall where the paint maybe cracks and then you notice, oh, it's gotten bigger. Why did that get bigger? Well, you have Matt Hayes from Home Shield Foundation come to your home, Foundation Repairs come to your home, and look at what you're dealing with. And the effectiveness of their peering solution for this foundation settling is incredible. They go way above and beyond, making sure that your foundation is going to be restored and secured, and they are going to put a guarantee on it that's going to make you very confident that you've chosen the right people to do the job. Matt Hayes is a great guy. He's got an incredible team, and they're a St. Louis owned and operated business. So you call them at 314-271-9900. That's 314-271-9900. HomeshieldFoundationRepairs.com.
KFTK FM Florissant from the Kaufman Townsley St. Louis's Injury Lawyers Studio. Call 314-777-7777.
That's 314-777-7777. County official just confirming it happened at a silver recovery plant in Institute, where West Virginia State University is located outside Charleston. Workers were preparing to shut down at least part of the plant when emergency management officials say a chemical gas reaction occurred, killing at least 2 people, sending 19 others to the hospital, 7 of them ambulance workers responding to the leak. Wildfires forcing evacuations and school closures in parts of Florida and Georgia.
No injuries have been reported, but air quality is becoming a concern. Florida National Guard Colonel Brett Rodenizer says aircraft are dropping chemicals hoping to put out blazes.
The containment go up, the smoke go down. Those are all the outcomes that we're looking for.
Amtrak was forced to cancel its auto train route between Florida and Virginia due to the fires. Service, however, has resumed.
Fox's Evan Brown in Miami. The fires are fueling fueled by strong winds and a long drought. Nearly 50 homes destroyed in Georgia, where the two largest fires have burned over 30 square miles. Fire crews in Florida battling more than 100 fires. A new study finds more than 17 million people in 8 U.S. cities along the Atlantic and Gulf coasts have the highest flood risk, including more than 4 million in New York City alone. Researchers using multiple factors to come up with a more comprehensive model, which also finds 99% of people and buildings are vulnerable in New Orleans. No word of any breakthroughs between the U.S. and Iran.
Just one day after talks between the U.S. and Iran failed to materialize and the ceasefire between the two sides was extended, Iranian boats fired on 3 vessels in or near the Gulf of Hormuz, seizing 2. That is a first, claiming none of the ships had proper permission.
Fox's Greg Palcott in Tel Aviv. The U.S. continues a blockade of Iranian ports. America is listening to Fox News.
I didn't switch to Pure Talk just because I wanted to save 50% off the same 5G service I'd been paying twice as much for. I switched because I like the idea of being in business with a wireless company that supports our veterans in a meaningful way. Pure Talk also creates American jobs every day by keeping their entire operation in this country. I appreciate that. If you feel the same, dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids. Rolaids' dual-active formula has calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. Yeah, you heard right. 2 actives for that powerful relief. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Tons of sunshine around town as we go through our Wednesday afternoon. In the 70s tonight, clear skies 59. Thursday, sunny and breezy, 83 Thursday afternoon. Scattered showers late Thursday night. It will be after midnight. And Friday, scattered showers and a couple of thunderstorms, 78. It's not a widespread severe weather outbreak. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
The Annie Frey Show is sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation. Time to schedule your air conditioner service. Get not just your AC, but your entire HVAC system checked for $19 a month with the Preferred Partner Plan. And be ready for the first heat wave. AirComfortService.com.
Annie Frey, Ryan Wiggins, Brad Ring.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
For goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk.
Welcome back. Good to have you here with us on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon, April 22nd. We're like a third done with this year already. Does that blow your mind?
Yeah, a little bit.
Does time moving too fast?
Time moves a little too fast at times. When you have kids, I think that's what does it for me. It's just you look back on all these little moments and you're like, dang, that was not that long ago and they're so much bigger. That kind of stuff.
Do you that's one thing I see you share on Facebook quite a bit is things that you posted from your kids before that you revisit.
Yeah. Yeah, memories.
It's a pretty bittersweet thing.
It is. If getting super deep here, but if there was no heaven and eternity, it would be a constant depression that I would be in. To think that, well, this is it. You better enjoy it. You better soak it all up as much as you possibly can. And it's weird to say that because it's not like I'm thinking, oh, there'll be kids in heaven or anything like that. I'm just saying, if this was it, whether it's with my kids, enjoying time with the people that I love, enjoying time doing things, if that was it, you really would have just hedonism to live for. That's it. But we don't.
Is Ethan out there? I need Ethan's opinion in here. As the resident young person who we get to ask, because I got asked a question.
Ethan, your dumb opinion is requested.
That's not how it was put. It was actually just I need a youthful presence in this conversation. Somebody who is more familiar with what it was like to be young once than unfortunately any of us are. Do you feel attacked by that, or do you guys agree with that?
Aren't
we too far away from being kids? I mean, we remember, but even like
we are now.
Even the way it was when we were kids is just completely not that way anymore.
You know what's crazy is even compared to the way I thought when I started on this show has changed.
What do you mean?
I felt much closer to being a young adult, all the stuff that Ethan's in the middle of right now. And now it's been 7 years.
Do you feel wise?
And I feel older, and I'm like, oh, I'm not as close to that as I used to be.
So here's a question for you, gentlemen. I got a question from my son last night. He's 16 and a half. He's going to be a junior.
Doesn't matter at that age.
I mean, it kind of does. I think 6-month increments in teenage boy years makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
Yes.
There was rapid change occurring at that time.
I'm talking about the expectations you put on a young man. When you come into high school at probably 14 years old, you come in as a child. The goal is that you leave as not almost even a young man, but just as a man. And all of the things that happen in between there, they kind of formulate I have to fail forward and look at things and take ownership and responsibility. And as a parent, all you're doing is letting go, just slowly letting go. He comes into my room last night. It's maybe 10:45 at night. I feel like that's what it was. And he goes, "Hey, Mom, can you teach me something real quick?" And I go, "Well, yeah, depends on what it is." He goes, "I need to learn how to play poker." And I'm like, you're not playing poker with anybody tomorrow when I'm teaching you tonight. Not with money. And he goes,
Is that why he was asking?
He wanted me to teach him how to play Hold'em.
For the next day?
He said that some of his buddies played poker recently at some family thing, and they were saying it's super fun. I love poker. I'm pretty good at poker. He knows that because I've played online poker before, and I play like games that are a quarter to enter because I enjoy it. And then, at the end you win $1.80 and you're like, oh yeah. And I never cash it out and then I lose it. I don't know. But he knows.
You cash that out.
Can't buy anything, Joe Biden. So he asked me last night if I should teach him how to play poker. Here's my conundrum. I don't want him to become good at poker to where he kind of falls into this thing where he wants to play it all the time, where money is involved. The gambling part of it stresses me out. I like poker and I play poker without having a gambling problem. But I also don't want him to go play poker and be bad at it. I don't want him to be the guy sitting at the table who isn't good at it and doesn't know how to play. So do I teach my 16-year-old son how to be really good at poker?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
100%.
He's going to learn how to play poker if he really wants to play poker regardless.
And at 16,
whether you want him to or not.
I only have like a year and a half left of minorhood. Granted,
that's a word.
He acts like he's wanting to stay at home through college, which would be fine with me if that's what he wants to do. He's going to have independence in that. But don't go. You guys did that to an extent.
Teach him to play poker so that he can fund his own college.
That's the CCCC.
No.
That's not a guarantee. And
it is when you're as good as you apparently are.
Yeah, $1.80.
Playing poker.
That up over 25 years, and you're looking at maybe paying for
playing poker
rent.
Online is not the same as playing poker with your buddies or with your buddies plus a couple guys who come sit down. Or, God forbid, a girl sits down and they all just go cross-eyed because they don't know what to do because there's a girl sitting there.
I'm all in!
Do you have any apprehension for... When did you learn how to play poker? Did you?
I've never really learned.
Have you ever played?
If I did, it was just for...
Do you know what beats what?
Like 2 o'clock in the morning and everybody was drunk and somebody was like, you should sit down. I'm like, really? Oh, okay. Well, somebody teach me.
3 of spades.
I got 3 pair. Could you win at poker right now or not? You're not.
I have no idea.
That's a no.
I would think if there's no bluffing involved.
I think we should play with Ryan.
If it's all online, they can't see your face.
Yeah.
Then no. I think that my face could control a game.
Ethan?
Like I would look really surprised when I get certain cards and really throw people off. Like, oh my gosh, that's a great. Well, wait, I wish I didn't say that. That kind of stuff. I'd be really good at that. You can tell.
I think you're overestimating. Ethan, are you a poker player?
I am not.
Have you ever played?
I had some friends in late high school, early college that got into it, and they would do poker nights. I had a buddy that had a table
With people?
with the guys in our friend group. Yes, I never had an interest in getting into it. They would drag me over, and I would sit at the table. And if they begged me enough, I would hold cards. But I never played for money because I'm like, no, I don't know how to play, and I don't really have an interest in learning how to play. So it has nothing to do with the money aspect of it.
Were you averse to the gambling aspect of it from some sort of like moral foundation?
No, because on the occasion I'll dabble in sports gambling, but
yeah,
I mean in very limited amounts and carefully. I just didn't have an interest in the card aspect of it. It's not something at that point that I found interesting.
It sounds like you and I, Ethan, did the same thing. You felt like you got to the game a little late, and therefore you'd always be behind. So why would I put money into this game if I'm probably favored to lose regardless of what I do?
Yeah, kind of.
Brad, you play poker?
I have played it. I'm not a huge fan of playing poker, but I've played it. I understand the rules.
Are you good at it?
I don't know. I don't think so. I don't play it enough to know that it's like, oh yeah, you're really good at it. I mean, part of it is like the cards that you get, but the other part of it, like Ryan said, is bluffing. And
part of it is the cards that you have that other people think that you have.
Yes, that would be
Which is
bluffing.
where Ryan's skill comes
What's
in.
an ace
It's all
of
about
diamonds
playing
do?
the man. That's what I've always
I have
heard.
two red A's.
You got to
Is
play
that
the
good?
man. You don't play the game. You don't play the cards. You play the man.
That's what that works
Yeah.
until somebody has the red diamond, the ace.
A
of
flush,
diamonds.
that's bad,
Man,
right?
you guys are really selling your poker knowledge here.
Isn't it? Maybe we are.
Hey, I'll play all of you. Do you feel like there's any reason not to teach Charlie how to play poker? You guys are not
No.
giving me any.
No.
Well, you know what? The only reason would be
I haven't
is
talked to
if
Jared about this either because
he's already interested. He's going to do it anyway, so you have to do it.
That's what I'm saying.
that's
have
a
to do it.
terrible parenting advice
I
for
know,
other things.
but he's going to do it. And there's nothing wrong with playing poker. There's something wrong with playing full on, like you're going to lose.
There's wrong with gambling where it controls you.
Well, Annie, nobody
Anything,
knows.
anything could be.
None of us know your child like you know your child. Is there?
Well, that's for sure.
So the question that you because
like
it
I
sounds
do,
like
but-
well, it sounds like your problem
Ryan,
is
talk to me about Charlie, would you?
It sounds like your problem is or your concern is the gambling aspect of it, and the question that you have
He's
to
calling
answer.
me right now.
The question that you have to answer is
Here, I'll talk to him.
has Charlie demonstrated anything to you that would be a concern, or
But
is that just
that
something
doesn't
that
matter
you
if what you're all saying is he's going to do it anyway.
No. There's levels to this because I think that
Hold on a
and
second.
that I don't think that that's the best mindset in every single.
Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't either.
I'll call you back, comma, I'm talking about you on the radio.
He doesn't know
Period.
you got to say, come on, turn the radio on, kid.
Anyway, you were saying?
There is certainly levels to that belief of like, oh, he's going to do it anyway, so I may as well teach him.
People say that about drinking alcohol
That's
all
why
the time.
That's why I'm saying there's like you have control in how you use that statement.
When I'm teaching him how to play poker, should I just throw some tequila in to knock out two birds with one stone?
Yeah, now we're really talking. Now we're really getting somewhere with this conversation.
I think he'd be good at it.
Why don't you just add drugs?
But it's a game in which it can be played, and it is not entirely 100% centered around money.
Right.
Is what I'm saying. You can play it in small bits and amounts to where it's not a concern, and that's where I'm saying like, there is an aspect to playing poker that can become really very sinful very quickly. But you have the opportunity to be able to teach him not just about how to play poker, but also how to have self-control, how to put yourself in good positions. You can also be the one to say like, okay, and if you feel like you're indulging too much into the money aspect of it at any point, it's probably a good time to have some recognition and say, I need to step away from this. It's a good opportunity to teach about, temptation as well. So what do you have to say, Ryan?
He's got that face.
You're not just teaching him about poker.
I'm teaching him about
You're
life?
teaching him about life.
Yeah, okay. Gosh. Well, we got to take a break. I got to find out if Charlie's upset with me. I got some donuts here. Wait, you can eat donuts now?
We're going to a break.
We're not there
I
yet.
was waiting till we were
Have
there.
you
You
mentioned
didn't
the
wait.
box at all?
No, we got from Second Gen Little Debbie store. We got a bunch of donuts. Which
The
is
coolest
totally
place
awesome.
Like, I
in
mean, like
Roxana.
100 donuts.
It's a lot.
It's a lot of donuts.
Second generation Little Debbie
I
store
would
in
say
Roxana.
type in
What
Little
happened to
Debbie
no
store.
sugar during the week?
That's gone, man.
Oh, okay.
That is way old. That is old news. Ethan, sports and local next.
Lots of places can expose you to identity theft.
Oh, no.
That's why LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity, which is way more than anyone can do on their own. If we find anything suspicious, like new loans or changes to your financial accounts, we alert you right away, all through text, phone, email, or the LifeLock app. Get the alerts that could make all the difference. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
There's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now. Things are changing fast and no one knows what comes next. Times like these make you realize just how important it is to be prepared. That's where My Patriot Supply comes in. They're America's #1 most trusted resource for survival food, solar power, water filtration systems, and more. Go to preparewithamerica.com to unlock a special offer that'll help you get ready for whatever comes our way. Go to preparewithamerica.com to see the special offer right now. That's preparewithamerica.com.
Homeowners, a lot of you are worried about one thing when it comes to selling. That's leaving money on the table. Hey, it's Mark Cox, and I'm with Gloria Liu, your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria, how do you help sellers make sure they're getting top dollar?
The reality is, most homes don't sell for what they should. I see it happen all the time. They either price it wrong or they don't create enough demand. But with over 2,400 buyers in my buyers in waiting database and my exclusive pricing strategy, I'm able to offer my seller a 100% market value guarantee. And if I can't get you 100% of your home's market value, I'll pay you the difference. So you don't have to wonder if you left money on the table. You can sell with confidence, knowing you maximize your sale.
Make sure you get every dollar for your home. Call St. Louis real estate expert Gloria Liu today at 314-325-6888 or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession. Hey, it's Mark Cox. Take your lawn from good to great with my friends at Lawn Enforcement. I'm talking expert lawn care services to keep your lawn in order. And here's what they'll do for you. Anybody can mow your grass. At Lawn Enforcement, they want to enhance your property. They'll do the mowing and the trimming. They'll fertilize and implement a weed control program and erosion control, which includes retaining walls if you need it. They can landscape. They can design and install your flowers, your shrubs, your trees, all of your hardscapes. No project is too big or too small for my friends at Lawn Enforcement. You can check them out online at yourlawnenforcement.com. So instead of envying your neighbor's lawn, your neighbors are going to be wishing they had the lawn and landscape that you have. Go ahead and enjoy your space. Be proud when you entertain your friends and your family. They've been in business for over 30 years. Be sure and tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to yourlawnenforcement.com.
Don't let tax refund worries hold you back. File now with TurboTax on Intuit Credit Karma. They'll find every credit and deduction to help you get every refund dollar you deserve or your money back. Start filing today in the Credit Karma app.
This is the Annie Frey Show on 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Hold up. Check it out. Sports and local.
With Ethan the Hair Hannaford.
Oh, that's a callback right there.
What does the name have to do with the music?
The Hair Harrington from Stranger
Oh, I thought it was because Stranger Things, the logo is red. It's almost gingery.
You know what? I get it. Not cool. Not cool
Your
at
red
all.
hair is beautiful.
Don't appreciate
It's very
that.
flowy. Hey, Ryan.
You're confusing me.
Real talk.
It's flowy.
If you could snap your fingers right now and have Ryan's hair.
Have Ethan's hair.
Have Ethan's hair. If you can snap, you can do
Yeah,
that.
this one I
if you
can.
can snap your fingers right now and have Ethan's hair, and he has to have your hair, are you doing it?
Heck yeah, it's super flowy.
No doubts about it.
No doubt about it. I'd cut it a lot shorter and style it much nicer, but
What the hell is wrong with you? You sicko.
He has beautiful hair.
That's what I'm saying, but he doesn't appreciate it the way I would.
Clearly. It's not the way you would.
It's like he's talking to a girl that has
better
a
than-
boyfriend.
Ethan, I'm just going to tell you this.
I could
It's
treat your
in
hair
the
better than
way
you can.
that you use it.
Okay.
Dun, dun. Copyright.
Did you miss us, Ryan?
Yes.
You're full of crap. Yes. Ethan?
You sent us a picture of you and your son with Wolverine.
Yeah.
And your son had a straight, as straight a face as you can get.
Yeah, he looked
you
like he
looked
maybe
more happy to
needed
be
an-
there than him.
an
He
exit
doesn't-
plan.
He doesn't recognize the coolness of Wolverine.
Got it. Okay. Was there
So
a
you
reason you
documented it.
sent that picture specifically?
I don't know. I just thought it was a funny picture.
Okay. All right. Got it. I thought it was funny because you looked way more happy than your son
Sports
did.
and local.
Yep, time for that. It's sponsored by All Financial. I have to mention this quickly. It's not technically super local, but it is, I think, worthy being that it is in the state. But this morning, the Kansas City Royals and Hallmark Cards shared a first look at their new $3 billion ballpark at Crown Center. So they announced that there will be a new ballpark coming to Kansas City.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Kauffman Stadium.
Kauffman Stadium has been the home of the Royals for 50 years. It certainly is a novelty, and there has been a lot of efforts to move on from that entire
complex.
Complex, I guess what is what you call it. Arrowhead, for those that don't know, Arrowhead and Kauffman Stadium, where the Chiefs plays Arrowhead, they share the same parking lots. They're all right there together. And the area around it is extremely unimpressive.
Yeah.
It is. I went to Kansas City and for the first time this winter, actually, and drove around the complex. And the area,
It's a lot
I
of
was
concrete.
extremely unimpressed. It
You
is.
could turn Kauffman Stadium into a Spirit Halloween store.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, maybe I'll.
When
leave
is
that to
the
you.
projected completion of said new stadium?
The Royals' current lease is expected or is set to expire in 2031, but according to Kansas City Mayor Lucas, the new stadium is expected to be ready for opening day in 2030. So it seems like they are going to be in the new ballpark prior to that lease that the Royals have with Kauffman Stadium getting set to expire. The mayor also said that he hopes that the Royals would lease the facility for at least 30 years. So I don't know the details as far as, is this going to be publicly funded? Is this privately
There's
funded?
a lot
is
of
it
public
a little
funding
bit
going
of
into
is,
it.
Yeah. Oh, is there really? Okay.
That's why Missouri was like, mm-mm.
Okay, gotcha. Well, they weren't willing to. Kansas, is going to be getting the Chiefs' new stadium here in a few years, so I didn't know what the details were with the Royals staying here. But I will say this: the new designs look pretty cool. Once it's all done, it's going to be good for the area long term. So not St. Louis related, but certainly Missouri
I've been to
related.
Kauffman. I'm going to have to go back and recheck off my Kansas City baseball stadium.
I still haven't been to Kauffman
Better
Stadium,
hurry.
which kind of makes me sick. So that's going to need to happen here pretty soon.
Kansas City, Missouri City Council approved a framework for up to $600 million in city-backed bonds financing towards the project. This would be repaid primarily through tax increment financing, basically a TIF zone, using new sales, earnings, and other tax revenue. Additional public support could come from the state of Missouri via the Show Me Sports Investment Act. I don't think that's happening. I think that's over. The Royals and private partners, including Hallmark in recent announcements, are covering the majority through private investments, reporting $1 to $2 billion for more for the stadium and surrounding district.
So it sounds like a lot of it's going to be privately
Yeah,
funded.
a big chunk of it.
I think you can live with that as long as it's not being entirely, or the majority of it is not being funded by the public. I think it's okay to say, yeah, you guys should be contributing a portion of this because you are also benefiting to a certain extent as
Kansas is providing massive public funding for the Chiefs' new domed football stadium and entertainment district. The state of Kansas is committing around $1.8 billion in sales tax and revenue bonds.
That is an absurd deal that those citizens are getting.
That's why they're vacating Missouri because Missouri said no.
You cannot blame
for you,
the
Missouri.
Hunts. You cannot blame the Hunts for saying, yeah, we're crossing the river, because they are getting a phenomenal deal. Anheuser-Busch will be building a new training center at its St. Louis brewery as a part of a $600 million investment
What are we
into
training? The horses?
U.S. manufacturing. The training center will focus on developing technical skills among local workers as the company looks to strengthen its manufacturing workforce.
I mean, jobs?
Yes.
I'm picturing a center that's like American Ninja Warrior inside the brewery.
This is a physical training center.
How would that benefit them, Ryan?
I don't know. That's what
Physically?
I'm picturing. That's
Their
why I'm
health?
asking you to help.
Investment?
Because it doesn't add up.
It's for the Clydesdales.
It's the Clydesdales doing American Ninja Warrior.
I'd watch that.
I would too. Now we're really getting somewhere. Anheuser-Busch says the St. Louis facility is one of 15 new technical skills training centers it plans to open across the United States in collaboration with technical trade schools. A quote here from the CEO of AB says, Anheuser-Busch's $600 million investment is a testament to our unwavering commitment to the future of American manufacturing. By strengthening our manufacturing operations, we are creating sustainable careers, not just jobs, and investing in the people who are vital to our success. As a part of the investment over 2 years, Anheuser-Busch will also provide new opportunities for former and current service members to pursue manufacturing careers in the private sector.
What would you like to see come to St. Louis the most?
Anheuser-Busch training centers.
Well, congratulations.
I know, it's a great day. I'm really happy
What
today.
I mean, what is St.
What
when you
sport?
go to no? I mean, maybe it's another sport. Maybe it's the WNBA. But what would you when you go to other cities and you're like, gosh, this is great. I wish St. Louis. Fill in the blank here. Is there something obvious that sticks out?
Two things. Number one, the WNFL.
Okay.
And number two, the
lingerie league.
That's what came to mind for me.
I'm
That's
sure.
disgusting. I like the sport, but I did watch it because there was no alternative.
He likes them for the articles.
I like the
Of
WNFL
lingerie.
because I like to read it. I don't like watching that sport. I like to read it after the fact. Anyway, the second one, which is real, is actually already in process. I just hope it achieves everything that they're setting out to do, is making our airport state of the art.
I want the riverfront.
Yeah, okay.
I want the riverfront to be
Yes.
destination worthy. I want people to talk about, yes, the arch is there, but what a missed opportunity. The arch is so magnificent. You don't realize how big the arch is. You pass it all the time, but when you get up close to it, if you're driving down Broadway or whatever that street is that's real close to it, and you're looking up at it, it's gigantic. And then you go to New York City and you see the Statue of Liberty and you're like, oh,
okay.
oh,
You can fit that right through our arch.
like 6 times. It's incredible how gigantic it is. It should be a destination for commerce and entertainment and life. And it is, if the sun goes down, get the heck out of there. Like, you wouldn't go down to the arch after dusk.
Well, they are working on a lot of aspects of the Gateway Arch grounds.
But the
it's-
grounds, it
needs
looks
to
nice
be-
during the daytime
Yeah.
when it's safe to be down there.
But there's areas like past Laclede's Landing and even Laclede's Landing itself where if you had safety and that, you could make a nightlife out of it and just extend it almost like a boardwalk.
There used to be a nightlife in
Laclede's Landing
Landing
was, and the Lumiere place was. I mean, that all of that is part of it. But just, I mean, that's still indoors. I'm talking about, my dream is to do it so that you are existing out there by the river, a bandstand, that type of thing. And I keep saying, put it on the Illinois side and bring jobs and commerce and safety and security over on the east side so we can look at the pretty stuff and actually do something cool in Illinois. But
And it starts with the Gateway Arch Park expanding.
Yeah,
to East St.
drain
Louis.
the swamp of East St. Louis.
Illinois is doing like there is an investment in the national park that is the Arch grounds. There is new investment that's going into Illinois, but it's like it doesn't matter if you're just trying to make it look nice from afar, which is what it is.
And in one spot.
You go across the bridge. I mean, how many times do you come to work and you're crossing any of the bridges and you're driving next to people who have their phones up and they're videoing the arch, and that's the extent of what they're going to see about the arch. And it looks great from far away.
It's the epitome of government projects. Let's dump a bunch of government taxpayer money into this one thing right here. It will be super nice. and everything around it, you'll have to like drive through crap town to get to it.
If no lingerie WNFL, how about roller derby? Seems up your alley.
I had a friend who did roller derby. I am no longer friends with her. She was mean.
Because of roller derby?
I don't know if it was because of roller derby. I didn't really like roller derby because she was just a mean person.
It just kind of was coincidence that she happened to do roller derby as well.
Or maybe it was that she was mean so she could do roller derby. That's what I don't know, chicken or the egg.
Were you on her roller derby team?
No.
Were you an opponent?
We were acquaintances.
I know you to be. You're the total roller derby type.
I could get real into it if I had time.
That's why. That's the barrier.
You're so busy.
Your schedule.
That's right.
NFL team is mine. If I would love for it won't happen, but if St. Louis got an NFL team back, that would do so much. And
we
I think
will in
the
our lifetime
city
have an
wouldn't take it
NFL
for
team
granted.
in St. Louis.
I hope so. I'm not counting on it.
It'll be a minute, but I think we'll get one back. They're going to see money and they're going to chase it. Maybe not the next expansion, but I bet you before we die, we get a team back. YouTube poll: would you support boots on the ground in Iran if they ended the conflict quicker? Yes or no? We'll be right back. Point Pest Control. You spell point with an E. PointPestControl.com. Call 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023 and talk to Point Pest Control about the pest problem you're dealing with. Or if you have prior to now maybe subscribed to a quarterly service and you haven't for a while, but you want to get back into it, go with the folks that we use at the Fry Home. Point Pest Control. They do a ton of residential business, but they also work in commercial business as well. So reach out to Point Pest Control and see what they can do for you. And if you want to take the service that I do, the Premier Service Plan, do not forget to mention my name, Annie Frey, and you're going to get an extra 10% savings on top of whatever specials that they currently have going. Call Point Pest Control. Remember, point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com. Call them at 636-798-0023. 636-798-0023 and mention Annie to make sure you get that extra 10% discount on your service. They are the best. We use them. We love them. We've used them for years. You're going to love them too. Point with an E, pointpestcontrol.com.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
We've been here 30 years, 30 Christmases in this house, and we have the traditions that most families have.
That's Terry talking about her experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We did Rhino Shield 14 years ago, and the house still looks the same as the first day. Rhino Shield really worked with me to help me get just the right nice soft yellow, and it's 14 years later, and it's the same color.
The main reason Terry called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by its 25-year transferable warranty.
It just sounded wonderful that we could have the house coated with Rhino Shield and not have to worry about it again for 25 years.
Take it from Terry. Give Rhino Shield a call now for a free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
There have been neighbors that have come by and said, "Did you just have your house painted?" Because they wanted to know who the contractor was. And I said, "No, it's actually Rhino Shield."
877-25rhino.com.
If anyone calls or messages you about investing your money and promises quick profits, guaranteed returns, or can't miss opportunities, stop. Don't fall for the call. I'm Denny Hoskins, Missouri Secretary of State. Our office regulates investing and works to protect investors. Call the Missouri Securities Hotline at 800-721-7996 or visit MissouriProtectsInvestors.com. Paid for by the Missouri Investor Education and Protection Fund. This is a public service announcement.
I'm Dr. Nick Barnes at Health From Within Family Chiropractic in Rock Hill. At Health From Within, our mission is to transform the way you manage your health by bringing you the truth about health and healing. We use proven techniques to remove interference in the nervous system and maximize health naturally, without drugs or surgery. Connect with me at healthfromwithinstl.com And join me for Maximize Living on this station every Sunday at 8 a.m. or download the Maximize Living podcast, Health from Within, STL.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today, we've been talking about it on and off all day and taking your texts and comments on this question. Would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? Yes or no? Once again, I am monitoring your texts at 314-241-9797. And of course, it's been interesting to see the variety of responses. So let us know if you have a thought on this question at 314-241-9797. It is 2:35. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating, Air Conditioning, Electrical, and Plumbing.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Built in the heartland, for the heartland. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis Conservative.
Brian, you were just mentioning the text line at 314-241-9797 on the YouTube poll about boots on the ground in Iran. Would it help the conflict end more completely and quicker? That's the question we're asking you. You can vote on the YouTube live chat. You said you had some text there. We can feature a few of those right now. Some thoughts from our audience.
Here's a couple that have just come in. One says, boots on the ground might be better for Iranian common citizens. If it wasn't for Iranian citizens wanting regime change, I would say it would start a Vietnam-type conflict.
Doesn't it seem like the problem, at least from the outside looking in, is that there are too many divisions in who we are negotiating with?
Well, it certainly seems that way.
There's not a voice that gets to speak for Iran, and if there are influential people who could be in that position, if they don't agree, then they just, I guess, jockey for. I don't know. I heard today that they have mobile, they called it a mosaic of missile launching capabilities where they have roving mobile missile launch apparatus where there are people that have the ability to launch missiles and they exist and they're mobile around the country. And it's a big country, 90 plus million people. And so you could have somebody over in the northwest being like, push that button. And then you got the people in the Strait of Hormuz going, let's not push the button.
Mm-hmm.
And, who are we talking to?
And if it continues to be the same people like the Ayatollah, even if it's not them directly, I don't know that anything's going to really change. It's like we have to have somebody there who's part of the resistance leading things for there to be any negotiation, unless we just force everything from them. Here's another text. It says, I am 100% in favor. I have supported Trump from day one, even after some of the unforced errors he made, but their Navy is gone, their Army is gone, their defense systems are useless, is kind of worn out. Based on the holes that they're putting in ships, they obviously have some sort of capability. You just mentioned that, Annie.
I do worry about, without a doubt, not completely and totally finishing the job. Because I'm thinking to myself about the commitment that Donald Trump is making, saying Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. Well, he's close to 80 years old. And if President Trump isn't here in 40 years, when we are 80 years old and our kids are our age and our grandkids are running around in school, if the consistency from the American government isn't going to hold them to that, are they going to have some resolve in returning the favor, forget about how many generations later, if we don't complete the mission?
Yeah, it does make me concerned that there would be some sort of, even if it's not 100%, that it's a 90% win and everybody's good with it. I'm not saying that that's the criticism, that it would be like, oh, we didn't quite get there, but we're real close. That it would delay Iran from ever being within the next 10 to 20 years, ever being a threat again. But we have to still have that resolve as Americans and with American leadership to continue that same force against Iran, for that to continue, because the minute we get a different administration in there and they're weak on Iran, Iran's just going to rebuild. So we have to do something that's mostly permanent right now.
Mm-hmm. Permanent. Completely.
Well, mostly permanent is a weird
completely
oxymoron.
Really, I think that the strength of the effort is really more in the allies that we're forming that are all about facing towards Iran, saying we're with the Americans. Even if it's not we're with the Israelis, it's we are not with you.
Mm-hmm.
We're not your ally in this situation. That posturing will create a situation in that area of the world that will make it last longer. Got more comments?
Here's another one. It says, I think this is a no because they're saying they've been stubborn for years. Iran is not going to change. It would seem that they would kill everyone in their country before changing their ways. I think that's a good point because they were doing that.
Yeah. One more?
If our president thinks it's for the best, I'm for it. That is a full endorsement of President Trump's.
Has your support for President Trump at all waned in any of this?
In the Iran stuff? Or just in general?
President Trump's willingness to do something that I don't think really nobody started the year with having, we're going to be in a war with Iran on our bingo card.
My support for Trump hasn't really changed. I hope that they knew they were getting into something that was pretty thorny and would take a while to get out of.
You hope they knew the stakes?
I hope so, because this has gone on a little bit longer now than even his 4 to 6 weeks that he projected. So my hope is that they knew, yeah, this is a possibility.
What about you, Brad?
My support for him hasn't changed at all in this. He's right. Iran had to be dealt with. They just did. And, nobody else wanted to do it, and now we're looking at it's a messy situation, but really, guys, it's not as bad as it seems. I mean, what we've invested as far as American lives compared to the results that we're getting, that's good for war. Whenever you consider war going on and the lives that would be lost in war, we're handling this very well.
Here's one that says, I'm a 40-year-old OIF veteran. Somebody translate OIF veteran. It says, I voted yes. I wonder how many veterans voted yes and agree, and how many haven't served.
Operation Iraqi Freedom.
There we go. He voted yes. I wonder how many veterans vote yes and agree, and how many haven't served and
So
say
he's
no.
saying he's an Operation Iraqi Freedom vet, and he says yes, boots on the ground,
Yes.
if necessary, to make it get done.
You got it.
The amount of firsthand knowledge that those individuals have of how we get 80% there and then just kind of bail out because the politics, in order to put the nail in the coffin, you got to go all the way. You just do. And the politics of the matter, it just wanes. It's really hard to get people super in favor of war. You're not going to, but war is a necessary element if it is for the national defense of the country. And an America First thing is a situation where you have to understand that America deserves and requires protection and defense. And if you identify threats, it's all you got to do is look at the last administrations that have been in, since Nixon, that Iran has always been a threat because we've always been trying to deal with it. So do you just do that in perpetuity? Like children who are raised whose parents never actually handle and get straight to the problem to try to address the problem right away. And then they grow up to be petulant adults. You got to handle the situation. You got to take it seriously and see it to its natural conclusion.
Lot of comments on this. Boots might be necessary, this person says. My son's enlisting. I'm prior service. I might have to go re-up to fight with him.
That is what I keep hearing from people. They're like, please get it done, and can I go back as well?
This person says no boots on the ground because of historically when we put boots on the ground, we have never left. And normally we have a base there to this day. That is in a lot of people's minds.
Is it safe to say, though, that this time is different because it's President Trump and not anyone else?
Well, it could be different, but that's you're talking about. Republican and Democrat presidents have gone into Iraq and into Afghanistan and, of course, ended poorly there. But either way, we had a presence there for a long time. And that's what people like me are afraid of.
But listening to an OIF, Operation Iraqi Freedom vet, say, go, take me with you.
It certainly impacts.
I'm leaning into that heavily. All right, look at the results to today's poll. Go vote. We'd love to have you. YouTube.com/@AnnieFrey. Go vote in the poll there. Keep your comments coming to Ryan, 314-241-9797. We'll be right back. Stewart's American Mortgage. He's a bagel loan guy. 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Stewie's waiting for your phone call, your text message, so that you can level up your mortgage situation. Get the lowest rates that are available that you're going to qualify for. You're going to be able to get those at Stewie's. But when you use a bagel loan, that new mortgage on that new home purchase, maybe it's a refinance on your current home, that mortgage, it's going to come with no closing costs. Thousands of dollars that you save on that transaction because you went with the bagel loan, only available at Stewart's American Mortgage. He's going to cover those closing costs for you. I've refied twice with Stewie, and I can attest to the fact that there are no closing costs to pay. And I am in a really good position right now with my current mortgage because of Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage. He's easy to reach, and he's encouraging you to tell him what you're dealing with, and he will advise you accordingly. 314-324-4440. You can Google the bagel loan for more information. NMLS number 226715.
97.1 FM Talk in Action is spotlighting Our Ladies Inn, providing safe shelter, care, and support for pregnant women and children facing homelessness. Since 1982, they've helped local families build stable, independent futures. Learn more at OurLadiesInn.org.
License number GL2500615.
Hey, it's good to hear you.
Hey, Dad, isn't it good to see ya?
Yep, but with smoke alarms, we need to hear them. If one alarm is downstairs, you might not hear it upstairs.
At school, everyone hears the fire alarm.
That's why we install hardwired smoke alarms that all go off together, just like school.
Smoke alarms done the right way.
Green is always Grasser at GrasserHomeservices.com.
Many times, a person hires a law firm after an injury without doing research. It can be a big mistake or not. Sometimes, after you have hired a certain lawyer, you realize you made a certain mistake. But guess what? Just because you hire them doesn't mean you can't fire them. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you think you've hired the wrong firm, you may have. So do this. Google Morgan & Morgan results or visit forthepeople.com for cases just like yours. You may find that our full-service injury firm should have been your choice in the first place. Last year, almost 12,000 people discharged their law firm and hired us after further research. We became America's largest injury firm for a reason. Visit forthepeople.com today and let's get started. Or call Pound Law on your cell phone. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com. If you're looking for the best eye care in St. Louis, look no further than the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates. Doctors Greg Birdie, Ranjan Malhotra, Robert Brusati, and Andrew Royer. Make your appointment today at youridoc.com or call 314-966-5000. Ophthalmology Associates.
Annie Frey is St. Louis conservative.
I'm going to highlight some of the comments coming in on the YouTube live chat, Facebook live chat comment as well on our poll today. Would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker? Ender said, still no. We shouldn't be in this conflict to begin with. How about we cut our gains and losses and just get out? I'm over it. Jennifer says on Facebook, no, absolutely no boots on the ground. Kate said, forget boots, send in the drones. It's kind of a good plan.
Yeah, let's just do that. Think about that.
Kate, are you busy? Can you go to D.C.? Steven said, boots on the ground allows Iranians an opportunity to elect a new government. I think that's probably the biggest thing is in order to keep the peace so the people of, you're essentially there to protect the Iranian people so that they can do the thing. But that seems very messy. And DMC said, yes, I would support this, but I think we already have boots on the ground. They, the president and his administration, are not going to say this because it's supposed to be like an element of surprise. Correct. We will not, God forbid that we tune in and they're like, we're sending boots on the ground at 7 p.m. on Thursday. I hope that doesn't happen. That would be stupid. Any more comments from the text line? Or let's 314-241-9797. You can send them in. We'll get the results here in a second. You said you had a moral conundrum. major situation in your life?
Well, yeah, modern American moral conundrum. So I pulled up to a gas station the other day.
Why are you talking like that?
Because I'm setting up the groundwork here. Okay. This isn't the part that you have to get excited about.
So it's low and undertone?
We're just talking right now. So I pulled up to a gas station, and as happens once in a while, you pull up to a pump, and it's the only pump that's open. Pull up to a pump, and then realize, oh, it's broken.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they'll put a bag on it.
Yeah.
Sometimes they don't. But I found out
Yellow out of order bag.
which is the best way to do it, some
You
sort
can
of
see it
plastic
from afar.
bag on it so you can see. So I pulled up, and I was already out of the car. So I'm looking at this thing going, shoot, it's broken. There's no other pumps open. It is packed. But it's at a gas station where people seem to park and go in for a while. And I'm not sure if that's what's
Is this
happening.
in Missouri or in Illinois?
It's
gas
right
station?
here. It's right around here downtown.
I know which one you're talking about based on this experience.
Probably.
It's kind of cutthroat.
It is a little bit. And so I'm parked there, and I'm like, well, I got my spot, but I don't have a pump.
But your spot is at an out of order.
It's at an out of order pump.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm start to look around like, what can be done here? Is there anything that maybe I've missed as an American citizen in this situation that I should be responsible for fixing? And so what I did was I looked at the person on the other
So you
side.
get your toolbox out and fix the pump.
You'll see what I did.
Oh, gosh.
I looked at the person on the other side of the pump. They were not in their car. They were nowhere around.
Did you use the pump on the other side?
They were not still pumping their gas.
Had they already pumped?
I presume because the pump was back.
No.
The pump was back on the lever. So it looked to me like they were done.
They were likely inside prepaying to use said pump.
And they had walked in. No, there was, well, I guess there could be prepay, but you don't have to prepay.
Yes, there's mostly prepay.
So,
did you steal someone's gas?
I walked around the other side and looked for a while to make sure this person's not around. I'm giving them a couple minutes here, probably total of a minute, not 2 minutes.
Probably like 17 seconds.
Maybe. And realized, okay, they're not coming back out. And if they do, I'll just say, oh, hey, my pump's broken. I was going to use your pump. So I did. But they never came out. So I just scanned. I just scanned
You're lucky
my
to have
card.
your life.
I know. And I just scanned my card, and I pressed the button on the unleaded, walked it over, and started pumping gas in my car. Now, I had paid for this. I wasn't using anybody else's money to do this. The person was not around.
But
and
then they weren't they?
And then I thought, you know what I'll do is if they come out, I'll just stop.
Yeah.
I'll just stop and tell them, hey, here's what I was doing. I wasn't trying to do anything weird, but this is what I did because mine was broken. And I thought they'd be understanding of that, especially if I hadn't taken anything from them and I wasn't slowing them down.
Did they come out?
They never came out. So I filled up my car with that pump.
Were you nervous? Were you excited?
I was probably a little bit of both. I would say I was titillated, probably premier. And that was...
Did you have to pay for that too?
No. That's premium. Premier. No, I got away scot-free.
I don't
There was no
understand
problems
gas
with
anymore.
this situation, but I did think there could have been a lot of problems with that
A
situation.
lot of problems. Especially downtown St. Louis is a lot different than if you're doing it in like the heart of Collinsville.
I get it. But there were no problems. So my question is, did I do something morally suspicious, or was it just like, nah, you're fine? Was it stupid? Was it stupid?
I don't think you were committing a moral infraction, but I think it was pretty stupid.
The prepay thing I never thought of.
Yeah.
That somebody would be inside, but I did give them
saying
some time.
I got $20 to put in my gas tank.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I did give them some time because I sat there for a minute thinking, should I just wait to have one
Why
open up?
did you not just get in line for a different pump?
Because there was nobody moving. And it was clear that there were lots
You go
of people
get behind
that were not
somebody
around.
who's pumping gas.
No,
Even if you're the
I
second
wasn't
or
at the station you're thinking I was, so it's really hard. It's a tight gas station. It's very hard to get in line.
The one I'm thinking of is the least sketchy one, and it is very busy.
There's a lot of space there, though, where you can get in line. I was at one that was really tight, and you just can't. There's lots of people around all the time.
I think you took a risk.
I think I did, too, but I just needed to know if it was... Like, was that dumb? Because it was fine. It ended up completely fine. And I left, and I thought, well, why don't we do this more?
It wasn't the one that's down on the other side of Taco Bell, is it?
No, this was the one.
Because that's an unmanned one, so they wouldn't be prepaying there.
No, this was one that has like a big store. Like they sell fried chicken in there and stuff, and people are in there for a while. So I thought, well, maybe you went in there to get a meal, and just parked at the pump.
Verifying the quality of the gas station by the fried chicken. I love it. Ethan, you want to give us the results of today's poll?
I gladly will. 201 votes on the YouTube live chat poll. Would you support boots on the ground in Iran if it ended the conflict quicker?
I'm a yes. Ryan, you were a no?
I'm still a no.
Brad?
I'm a yes.
Well, that vote right there accurately represents the people that voted. 66% say yes.
2/3.
34% say no.
A little surprised.
I also think that several commenters made the point, and they are correct to do so, that we probably already have it. It's probably already happening, especially if you're talking about special forces and everything. So pray for those troops. Thank God for those troops and pray that their safety is secure, that they're protected, and that we can end this thing as fast as possible. I know that it's cheap to say I just want it to be over. I do. But I like a lot of you guys making this comment as well in the text line, Ryan. A lot of people say, I trust the people making the decisions. That's really what it comes down to. The Mark Reardon Show on 97.1 FM Talk next.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.
The sandwich generation is feeling the bite.